Jamie ACCS in the house. I gotta come pick up that printer tomorrow. If I remember.
We're not starting until my Facebook decides it wants to work.
Well, you should be able to go.
Well, it comes up and then it fucking goes away.
What? I'm live over here. I don't know about
I don't care that you're live. I'm not, and I'm pissed.
Well, we know where I stand, don't we?
DiAmOnDbAcK, you the man. You know that. But I don't know why my phone is acting up on me now.
All right.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Just see me going live at the concert the other night.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here we go. Finally, it's going to do what it's supposed to do.
Good. Not good, not good, not good, not good.
Carrie just sent me a message. It's nice. Hey babe, got your message with the store with Holland. Phone was off charging. Here we go. Here we go. Finally. Come on. It's way too slow. What the heck? Start a live video. Finally, please. Just do it. Okay. Hey everybody, it is the iconic Drew. We got DiAmOnDbAcK here with us. Getting ready to start the show. We are starting a couple minutes late because, you know, we had some technical things going on. But it's okay. We're ready to rock the world. Right now we're going to play some Aerosmith. Always the first song we hear, except for last week when, you know, the ESPN can't touch Urban Meyer, even though they won the Fires, but they couldn't touch him. And we're going to bring on our YouTube world as well right now. So now, welcome YouTube world. You can see us. We're going to start with a little bit of some Aerosmith here. Get that going. Get the show rocking. It's the way it ought to be.
I need a
And here we go. Right after this, we'll be back. We'll be live. We're going to talk about the NFL rule changes. We're going to pick some games. We're going to have some fun tonight. Let's rock it, baby. Come on. DiAmOnDbAcK's ready to go. He's going to turn on the fan, which is going to throw my papers all over the place.
I don't give a shit.
But that's pretty much how he is. Wow.
You didn't give a flying yes about me earlier.
Wow, man. Do you actually have a rant tonight?
Yeah, ain't gonna be a good one, but I got a rant.
Shit.
I'm gonna rant about how iconic Drew pisses me off. That's not true. Not true.
I know, Cass, but the show's just getting started. That happens sometimes at the beginning. But thanks for joining in again. Oh, I know what you mean now. My jersey.
Cass or Cast?
Cass. C-A-S-S.
Oh, Cass.
His last name is Cassinger, but he goes by Big Cass. Not nearly as big as he was because he's actually lost some weight.
We traded.
You and me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Remember when I was at 295? I was too, man. I weighed 295. He said I have shit on. Well, because of my jersey. That's what he meant. But he's not there now. Put the face like a jet. He's gone, man. What are you doing?
Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone. He'll be back.
He'll be back.
Gotta look professional. Wear the cans, baby. See if DiAmOnDbAcK wears his tonight.
I don't know. It depends if they work or not.
Pants on fire. Yeah, I know mine are working just fine. I love this freaking song.
Well, they're working now.
Crank this up like a...
Depends if they break or not.
Because of the way I crank the music.
You know what? I don't know about him sometimes.
Wow. It's been 21 years we've been friends. DiAmOnDbAcK, don't even start with me. Sweet. This is the best song ever by the best band ever. In Iconic Drew's humble opinion.
Are we going to have this debate again?
We're going to have a music debate? Sure, why not? Let's see who's on now. Hey, Kathy, how's it going? Things but your girlfriend lied. It's never a good sign when they have to ask. Just saying.
No, that's not the password.
I'm fine, just a shaky yawn. Yes. Talk about something you can sure understand. Can you hang on for just a second?
I'm sorry, are you saying something? I'm enjoying the music.
Hang on for just a second. This is pretty good because I've got the information on the show here on my right. Oh, we don't have the date because the date is covered up.
See how you are.
What is the date? Is it November? Do you have the date over there of that show?
For
the red carpet show? Okay, you have the actual thing.
Yeah, I'll read it. All you got to do is say, read, and I'll read. If our official producer actually will chime in and say, time to read.
Our official producer, Killer?
Our unofficial, yeah, unofficial. I said official.
This is the best song ever, for sure.
It's a good song.
It is, by the best band ever.
I don't know about that.
And Billy.
Billy?
Yeah. Sometime. Well, that song must indicate just one thing, everybody. It is time, once again, for the Ferocious Bunny Productions of the iconic Drew and DiAmOnDbAcK Sports Opinion Show. How's it going tonight, DiAmOnDbAcK?
It's going good. It's going
good. Yeah.
A busy week, but hey, you know what? I'm already making it through it. It's already Wednesday.
It's called job security, my friend. When you're busy, it's called job security. That's all it's called.
I don't know. Sometimes, man.
So, yeah.
Too much to do, not enough time to do it in.
I hear you, but let's get to sports, because you know that's what we're here about tonight. We're here to talk about sports. It's a Sports Opinion Show. Everybody give us a call. We're at hashtag Save the Crew, 614-781-0754. That number, once again, is hashtag Save the Crew phone line, 614-0754. You can catch us here on Facebook, on our individual Facebook pages, as well as our YouTube sites. That's right, the Iconic Drew has his own YouTube site now. Check that out, everybody. I'm sure it's really cool. I know I've checked it out. It's really cool. Anyway, and DiAmOnDbAcK has his own. So we got our own thing going on as far as the YouTube things are concerned. And we've got also, you can catch us on WTMHradio.com, sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. Speaking of plugs, why don't you go ahead and give us a plug, DiAmOnDbAcK, on that red carpet show coming up.
Red carpet show, that's the WTMH Radio Music Awards.
Wow.
Saturday, November 10th at 6 p.m. It's a red carpet event. King's Arts Complex here in Columbus, Ohio, sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. Okay, so go to www.wtmhmusicawards.com and nominate for your favorite show, model, rap video. There's a whole slew of things to vote for.
Best sports show?
Best sports show. I just don't know.
Which we are, I still believe, the only sports show here at WTMH.
That might be.
And I do not mind winning by default. Yeah, I have no issue with that whatsoever. If I can win an award, I don't care how I want it. I just want to win. It's okay with me.
Killer's already chiming in, telling me to shut it.
Well, thank you, Killer.
You know, Killer, since you're on, I'm actually going to plug you since I did the little unplug. LMS_Killer TV at Twitch. Okay, you also can find him on Twitter and all other things. I was kind of mean and plugged our show last night on his thing. So,
well, that's absolutely fine. You can plug our show on his thing. I don't have an issue with that. I mean, obviously, Big Cass wouldn't have an issue with that.
Yeah, Big Cass.
Big Cass gets his own plug-in every time he calls. He's already been on my Facebook tonight telling me that I've got, well, I could quote this because we are an internet radio. Yes. I could say exactly what Cass said.
Yeah.
He said I have shit on. So because I've got my Steelers stuff on, and he's a Bengals fan, and here comes a call already.
I probably messed up Killer's thing. So.
All right, who do we have on the phone?
I can't figure out how I logged in last time to listen.
Is this Killer?
Who's this?
What's that?
Who is this?
This ain't Killer.
This ain't Killer.
Oh, Steve.
It's your second best caller.
That's my second best caller. Exactly, Steve. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, that's good. Let me turn up the phone volume a little bit. That'll help us out.
Yeah, I can't. All I do is hear him from.
Yeah, so the phone's volume's up now. So you can't figure out how you logged in last time? Okay. So.
Julia says, hi, Andy, son.
Oh, hi, Julia. How you doing? So, it's my sister-in-law. Best sister-in-law guy can have.
All right.
So, she's awesome. And she's kind of like an older sister for me, too, because she's older than me. So, I think you just go to WTMHradio.com and just find it there. Isn't that right?
Yeah, you can go to WTMHradio.com. You can go to LMS.DiAmOnDbAcK, or you can go to the iconic Drew.
Also, I believe we're friends on Facebook, Steve, so you can go there as well.
You're friends with your brother?
Yeah, on Facebook. I know.
Wow.
I know.
Kind of
Oh,
rich.
Steve, you probably had to go to sleep before you heard our Super Bowl predictions.
Yeah, well, no. I went to sleep before the 3-game suspension.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you heard our Super Bowl predictions.
Yeah, I think it was Green Bay and somebody else.
Green Bay and somebody else. It was Green Bay, and I predicted Green Bay and Pittsburgh, with Pittsburgh winning, of course, and Diamondback here picked Green Bay to beat New England.
Wow.
So,
You guys are both brilliant.
yeah. Well, I would be happy with either of those results, obviously, because neither way New England wins another Super Bowl, and I'm okay with that.
Well, not as long as Bill and
Bill and Brady.
are there. So.
Yeah, I don't want either of them to win another Super Bowl, or actually that whole organization. I think I'm going to not like them ever, unless, of course, Spencer gets drafted by them. So,
Do they have one for the thumb?
No, they have. Yeah, they do. They've won 5.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's won 6. Dallas has won 5, and San Francisco's won 5. So, and how many has Atlanta won, Diamondback?
None. But they've been to 2. They've been.
So they've
At
been
least
to
they've
2.
been. Unlike the Cleveland Clowns.
Well, we're going to talk about them later. We're going to make our NFL picks tonight.
Uh-oh.
We're also going to make some college picks and talk about the NFL rule changes.
NFL rule changes.
NFL rules.
With 8.
8. You saying 8 wins for the Cleveland Clowns?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what. We got to talk about that game coming up.
That would be a mass improvement for them.
We will talk about that game coming up this Sunday, and I'm a little nervous about it.
Really?
Yeah, if this holds out.
We'll get into that. Yeah. My boy Bill. So, well, come on, even if the Browns win, Steve, once every 20 years, I'm still not going to be too ashamed.
Once every 20 years.
It's only true. The Steelers own the Browns right now.
That would be 1 out of 40.
1 out of 40.
Wow.
Right, I think
Yeah.
it's almost that
The
bad.
only team they can beat in the division is Cincinnati.
Can they do that?
Yeah. No, I think they'll own Baltimore. I've got Baltimore finishing dead last in that division. I think Baltimore's going to suck. That's right, Ravens fans. Give me a call. Anyway,
Wow.
I'll call you out. Your team sucks. You got one player because you signed him for too much money. That's what I'm worried about with your Packers, Steve. They're giving Rodgers a lot of money. Hopefully they can still.
Camp is a lot better, so.
Yeah, right. And hopefully they can still put some talent around him. I mean, he makes receivers look good. I'll give him that. But, that's what happened with Baltimore. They signed Joe Flacco to all that money, and they haven't been able to put talent around them.
No.
Well, since they cut their leading tackler.
Yeah, exactly. So, but, yeah, that's... I mean, I still think the Packers are, like I said, I got them in the Super Bowl, but my prediction pretty much every year is Pittsburgh and Green Bay because I want some payback. Because I'm tired of hearing about... Thanks. I'm tired of hearing about that, that Super Bowl you guys won against us.
Wow.
So,
Is that all it is?
Pretty much, yeah. And it's not that I hate the Packers. I don't. The Packers are my NFC team. This is why it's my perfect matchup for the Super Bowl.
I'm just happy you picked the Falcons.
That's a curse.
I know it is.
I can't return the favor, though, because
Oh, I know.
it was Dad's favorite team, so.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. If the Browns were in a different conference, I might root for them. But this is football. I can't have 2 teams in the same conference. Unlike
You can't
baseball.
have 2 teams, period.
Unlike baseball, where I got 3 teams in the same division.
Same division, same.
That's what Killer called me crazy that night. Crazy iconic Drew. But I live up to that.
Insane.
Oh, insane iconic
insane.
Drew. Yeah, IID. So I don't mind that. I'll go with that.
Id.
So id. All right. Well, Steve, I hope you were able to find us out there. Like I said, if you just go to WTMHradio.com, we should be right there. You can at least hear us. I know you don't really want to see me anyway, so I can't blame you there.
You can actually see you guys?
On, well...
You can see on WTMH radio on YouTube or LMS.DiAmOnDbAcK on YouTube.
LMS.DiAmOnDbAcK?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not, my YouTube page is up, but you don't see me yet, which is probably for the best.
I agree.
For the kids. We don't scare them away.
Don't want to scare them away.
So, you know. But anyway, bro, I'm going to let you go for now. We're going to get into the opening segment of the show. I do want to thank you for calling in, though.
Yep.
All right. Have a good evening, buddy.
You too. Later.
Yep, bye.
Speak now.
Later.
Okay. So, that was my bro, Steve, calling in again. So, we got one caller, everybody. What's the record, Diamondbacks? 3?
3.
All right. Let's see if we can't break that record tonight. It can be the same caller. So, Steve, if you want to call back, go ahead. But once again, that phone line, 614, that's hashtag Save the Crew phone line, 614-781-0754.
That's 614-781-0754.
So let's get into segment 1 here. We always talk NASCAR. Tonight I decided I did not want to torture Diamondback with the stage winners and just give us the winner of the race.
Give us the one. Just
And
one.
next week I might go with stage winners again just to drive you crazy because, see, it's always out there. So every week now you got to worry if I'm going to mention it or not. So there you go. So Brad Keselowski won the race. I really don't even want to talk about it beyond that. Can't stand Keselowski. He's an idiot. Next week, they are September 9th. It's the Brickyard at 2 p.m. on NBCSN.
Ooh, Brickyard.
The Brickyard. So somebody's going to be kissing bricks.
All right.
As long as it ain't a Bush or a Keselowski, I'm okay with that. So,
Don't kiss a bush? Is that what you're trying to say?
well,
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
no, we're not. This is a sports opinion show. We're not going there.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know if you want a riddle. I got a riddle for you.
Okay, we can do a riddle later.
Oh, okay.
Later. We'll save that for later, Diamondback.
All right.
Give me something to look forward to. All right, now it's time for hashtag Save the Crew News. What's that phone line again?
That's going to be 614-781-0754.
Right. There's a few people out there that know the number by heart. I have it in my phone in case I want to call one of the other shows.
I don't think Killer knows it. I just think we got him on speed. He's got us on speed.
There you go. So, hashtag Save the Crew. Atlanta. You're going to love this story, Diamondback.
Uh-oh.
Atlanta, the Atlanta owner for their soccer team, Major League Soccer team down there, which happens to be, I didn't write his name down, but it's the same guy that owns the Falcons.
Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank, thank you. He owns the soccer team down there
That's what I
too.
was going to say. I was hoping that you would say.
He said that he sees a way for both Austin and Columbus to have a team in the league starting next year. So, okay, so that's pretty good news. John Zadir, who is works with Major League Soccer and operating cycles with Major League Soccer.
Okay.
He said that the support that the fans have showed and the movement of hashtag Save the Crew has been very, very impressive. He hopes that things move in the right direction, that they can keep the crew here. And as we know right now, there's 11,000 potential season ticket holders and 300 businesses interested in building the downtown stadium.
Nice.
And that Iconic Drew is one of those 11,000 people. Don't know if Diamondback's actually gone hashtag Save the Crew and taken care of that yet. We need to get his butt in a seat first.
Yes.
But anyways, the crew did win on September 1st, 2-1 over NYC, New York City FC. Next, they have a match with Dallas.
Dallas. We're going to go hashtag Save the Crew 614-781-0754. Why has a coffee fit there. And I don't know where he was going with the Dallas thing, but good to hear that they are going to try to see about getting that going.
That's their next matchup. Their next home matchup is September 15th.
September 15th.
It's Saturday at 8 p.m.
Wait, I might get it right.
And we're going to get Diamondback's button. Steve, I'm surprised you weren't there last week. Craft beer? Come on, Diamondback. You passed that up?
I had to pass that up. I had to get the yard ready for the future in-laws to come down.
Wow. So anyway, but that's all our hashtag Save the Crew news tonight. Once again, that phone line, 614-781-0754. And Maryland news. There's been no update on the investigation yet at this point.
Okay.
However, they did win. They beat Texas. Number 23, Texas, 34-29. That's very impressive. That's 2 years in a row they beat Texas.
Yeah, I know.
2 years in a row they beat Texas.
They beat them at home or in Texas, and then they beat them this year in Maryland.
Yeah.
Which I was happy to see. I really was happy to see that.
So
when Texas falls.
The players carried a number 79 flag in honor of Jordan McNair, and on the first play of the game, they lined up with just 10 players.
Right, leaving his spot open.
Leaving his spot open. They got a penalty call, and Texas declined it, which I thought that was
class. That was very classy.
That was classy for Texas to decline that penalty. I'm wondering if there'll be a school out there that'll take it. I hope it's not Ohio State. But there's
sure there would be.
There's bound to be somebody that's actually going to accept that penalty.
But then again, Texas probably didn't think they were going to lose that game.
No, I'm sure they did not think they were going to lose that game. So, folks, let's go ahead and go to some commercials here. Once again, that phone line, 614-781-0754. That is the hashtag Save the Crew phone line. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the top 25 college games. We also have a debate about the college game. Diamondback didn't know this, but I threw this in at the last second.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to talk about the top 25 college matchups for this coming weekend.
Okay.
And we may not talk about every game. We'll see what time allows, but there's some big matchups in there, and we'll get to those for sure. And we'll mention Ohio State and Alabama since we represent those two schools as fans. So, but the debate topic for tonight for college football is 4 teams in the playoffs enough?
I will always say
Don't talk about it right now, Diamondback. We'll talk about it after this break.
Wow. I wish he would have gave us some heads up on that one.
That's what I just said.
Wow.
So we're going to have some commercials and some bumpers, and we'll be right back with that debate and more.
I didn't catch it, sorry.
Okay, what's next
Is it
here?
as crappy as the crappy football?
MLS.
I need to go see Todd.
Yeah, so do I, actually. I'm getting a little raggedy.
But yeah, the 15th, I might be able to make that that game, man. She's going to be out of doing dress shopping for the wedding. So yeah, my feet runs off my phone. Turn that up just a little bit.
There we go. It's right here. Freaking ties. Ties irritate me.
There was only 2.
Oh my God, he got loud for a moment.
Dude, that
Just messing with you. This is much better.
I fixed my mic.
It's much better.
I found out what was wrong with it.
Really? What was wrong with it?
Well, it helps if you plug it all the way in.
You know what I'm thinking. I don't even have to say it.
No, the setting on my computer is.
Yes, as that smooth voice just told us. Welcome back, everybody, to the iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show. And Diamondback, before we went to that break, we teased that we are going to debate a little bit here about the 4 teams, whether 4 teams is enough for the college football playoffs. Why don't we just go ahead and get into that first? I kind of cut you off there.
Yeah,
sorry about that, but I wanted to save all of it for after that break. So, because we're into that time period we needed to get to this. So, that's where we are right now. So, go ahead and give us what you were going to say on that, Diamondback.
I don't want to see it go to an oddball where 2 teams are getting by, getting a bye week. So I'm kind of like in between on this. 8 teams might be too much.
Yeah.
4 teams might be a little too little, because we did have UFC, correct? Am I correct? They went
You mean last team's national champion?
No, they weren't on the national champions because they never played in the national champion game. I don't care.
I like to say that just to irritate you, because I know you're a Bama fan. You guys won the championship last year. And the main reason you did was because Ohio State didn't get there because we choked against Iowa.
Yeah.
The only reason Ohio State was not in the Final Four last year.
I really do believe that because of I think they are not ever going to pick a 2-loss team, even if it's close.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever will.
Did I give the phone number when we came back? 614-781-0754. This is the Ferocious Money Productions of the iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show.
That's hashtag Save the Crew, 614-781-0754.
Also on WTMHradio.com, sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. And we're also on our YouTube pages tonight as well. So we got that going too.
Yes, we do have the YouTubes. That's going to be the that's going to be iconic Drew on YouTube, and it's going to be LMS.Diamondback. That is Last Man Standing Diamondback. LMS.
Last Man Standing.
That's what it is. Not like my status, no.
Decent show, and definitely not like your status anymore. So, I have to disagree with you here a little bit. I think 4 is a perfect number. I think it sparks more debate. You have to be perfect every week. Every week matters more.
Yeah, every week does matter more. If you go any further, that's what I'm saying. 8 is going to be...
Let's compare this to the NC2A basketball tournament. During the season, I'll watch Ohio State a few times here and there. I'll catch some games because I want to see what my Buckeyes are up to in basketball. Sure.
See how they're actually handling it.
And I'll catch a little North Carolina because I like watching them play.
North Carolina's always fun to watch.
So I didn't cough all day at work, folks. I don't know what the heck's wrong with me now. I apologize for that. Hopefully we can get through the rest of the show and I can just be my smooth self. Anyway, so
Very smooth.
not when I'm coughing, I'm not. And the other time I am, Diamondback. So anyhow,
it's the iconic Drew and his coughing fit show.
No, it's not. That's not going to be the show. That's not funny at all. So we personally, I think leaving it at 4 is a perfect number, because what it does is it causes every game to be important. Every week is important. Style points are important. Who you play is important. Winning out is important. You can't get in with 1 loss. You made a good point a couple weeks ago when you said that. I'm going to give you credit on this one, Diamondback, so pay attention. When you said that you didn't think a 2-loss team should get in.
Correct.
I agree with that. Let's temper it with who's the 2 losses. You know, when you lose at Iowa, you don't deserve. And no discredit to Iowa. Don't get me wrong, folks. Folks in Iowa, give us a call. I'm not trying to drag you through the mud or anything like that. It's just that we are Ohio State. We expect to beat Iowa.
Isn't that one of your rivals?
No,
it's the Eli Buck game, isn't it?
Eli Buck. Yeah, and I don't even consider Illinois a rival. It's just we get the trophy every year and
they go
on with our lives, and they go back home.
Yeah, they go home.
Or we go home, depending on where the game was.
Okay.
Either way, Ohio State wins. So,
wow. Cocky much?
yeah, well, you know, it's Illinois. Got a comment from Cass here. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Cass says, who you play isn't important. If it was the SEC, if the SEC would schedule better opponents.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the '90s there. When you guys were backdooring into every possible shot at it.
Just because we played Youngstown State and Miami, Ohio, doesn't mean we backdoored into anything.
Every team does play these underwater basketball. I am very upset at. I will not probably watch another game until the LSU game and the Auburn game. That's the only two. You know, I thought it was funny as all get out that Kirk Herbstreit this week actually brought up the schedule for Alabama. Was like, yeah, a win, and went right through Citadel and was like, bye week. Oh, ouch, that hurts, you know.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're not upset with Kirk Herbstreit making comments about SEC teams?
No, I'm not upset about it, you know.
Unlike Paul Feinbaum, who should never make a comment about Big Ten teams.
Well, you know what? They all cross over, so get over it there, man.
No, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to get over that. That was absolutely ridiculous. And let's just throw Ohio State under the bus right away. But anyway, let's get back to this Final Four thing. I think it's a perfect number. I don't want to see it expanded because when I see things get expanded like that, I worry we're going to get up to 64, 66 teams like we've got in basketball. Yeah, which I'm not saying it'll ever happen in football, but let's keep the regular season meaningful.
Yes, we need.
Let it mean something every week. Even if you're playing underwater basket weaving, you could still lose. What if you lose to one of those teams?
Speaking of which, Penn State just struggled against that Michigan.
That Appalachian State team.
That Michigan beater team. I know they're Appalachian State. But
and you got to hand it to Appalachian State. They took Penn State to overtime at Penn State.
Correct. No, that was awesome.
And I've watched my Buckeyes lose there. So, I mean, for Appalachian State to take them to overtime like that, it's impressive.
And that's exactly it. I mean, and now Penn State's really got to be on their best behavior all the way through.
If you were to see it expanded, what number do you want it to expand to? Do you want
as I said,
5 or 6?
I don't want to see 5 have a play-in game. I don't want to see that. If they expanded it, it would have to go to 8. And I really don't want to see that. You know, the 5.
You wouldn't stop at 6? Because if you went to 6,
that oddball team, because then you're going to have those teams go, well, we had to play an extra one more than Alabama or Ohio State because they got a bye.
Yeah, but if you earned a bye, you earned a bye. I mean, it's the NFL rule. Then.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Killer basically says you have 10,000 freaking college teams, so he doesn't think that 8 is an issue. No, well, Killer, it's not a 10,000. It's 128, I do believe.
I believe it's actually 120 Division I teams.
Oh, is it 100?
Yeah, I might be wrong.
Maybe I'm going to basketball.
Maybe, yeah. Well, they had to expand it in basketball because of how many teams make the tournament. Anyway, yeah, that's the thing right there. Is I think that if we expand it, that's what I worry about, is watering down the season product, like in college basketball. College basketball, the product is watered down during the regular season.
Oh yeah, there's no.
So if we keep it at 4. If we keep it at 4, we won't have that.
Well, and as you said, you're going to have to strive for perfection. You're going to have to strive for perfection. So far, any team that's won the national title has not done it perfectly.
No.
They have all lost at least one. Alabama was the first one to actually have a shot at it.
Well, you used to call the SEC a gauntlet. When we first met.
It used to be a gauntlet because you had LSU at the top. You had Auburn up there at the top. Alabama was struggling at that time.
Oh, Cass says there's 136 Division I schools right now.
So
thanks, Cass. 136 Division I schools.
I was closer and I didn't go over, so
he would know. His show, 14 Bullets, and I'll give you a plug now, Cass. The show, since you gave me that pointer there, 14 Bullets is a show that only concentrates on college football and mostly the Big Ten. The best conference in college football right now, the Big Ten.
No, I give you that because they are the strongest conference out there right now. I will literally say that right here, right now.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me several years ago, no, SEC was at the top. As I said, you had Georgia dogging everybody, Florida dogging everybody. You name it, they was all out there.
The Urban Meyer led Florida Gators.
Yeah. And then Nick Saban's chased these coaches out. So.
Yeah. Well,
we only have Nick Saban to thank for the decline of the SEC.
Really? Wow. Wow. So yeah, but I mean, like we've talked about before, I'd like to see teams like Nebraska step up and have better teams, and some of these other schools and all that. I want you to do me a favor right now, Diamondback. While I think we've pretty much discussed what we think of the Final Four. You're kind of like maybe go to 8, but I'm kind of like leave it at 4. So let's leave that topic out there and let people call in on that if they want to. Hashtag Save the Crew, 614-781-0754. I got it memorized after just in the second segment here. So let's put on my glasses to actually look at that. That's good. I like that.
All right.
So do me a favor. Look up the Akron Nebraska game from last weekend. Tell me who won that. While I look at some matchups for this week, let's start with your pick while you're doing that for the Rutgers-Ohio State game.
Rutgers-Ohio State. Well, I really don't see this being an issue, so I'm just going to go Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably correct on that. Let's that game, by the way, everybody, is at 3:30 on BTN,
That's
Big Ten Network. And then looking down here, let's look at, where is Bama at? Nebraska's game was postponed, according to Cass. Maybe not a final. Arkansas State at Bama.
Yeah, it was postponed.
I'm assuming you got Bama.
What's that again? Who?
Arkansas State at Bama.
Arkansas State at Bama. Once again, I'll tune back in when they play LSU.
Okay, but you're picking Bama, I assume. All right, now let's talk about a big matchup for next week. Number 15, USC at number 13, Stanford.
Oh.
This is a game on
Pac-12?
Fox. This is a game on Fox at 8:30 at night. This would be a good matchup to stay up and watch. I feel like I'm going to be tired of church next morning. USC at Stanford.
USC gets their first loss.
USC gets their first loss, so we both got Stanford on that game. And we got to talk about Notre Dame. Why? As I said, that kind of Jew show, and they're Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, and they happen to beat all that.
Before we get to that, let's talk about this one. Number 10, Penn State at Pittsburgh.
They're at Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed that they're stepping into a little boy stadium there.
They play there every other year.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that's a typical matchup.
Okay.
They go back and forth.
I was unaware.
It's pretty much every year.
So
I'm sure Cass is going to correct me here in just a moment.
Probably.
I'm just kidding, Cass. You're the man.
I'm going to go ahead and say Penn State because.
Okay. So we both got Penn State on that game. How about this matchup? Number 11, Michigan State at Arizona State. Arizona State not ranked. Michigan State is number 11, 1-0. This game is at 10:45 at night on ESPN. Talk about staying up late and being sleepy at church next morning.
Michigan State against.
Michigan State at ASU. Arizona State.
Ooh. Big Ten back. Pac-12.
Yeah, and late game.
Late game.
It's going to be what, 7:45 Michigan State time.
Is that the former Michigan coach out there still?
I think so. Yes, I believe so. Brady Hoke.
Brady Hoke, yeah. I'm going to sit there and go with.
Cass is picking Sparty, but they'll win close.
I'm going to go with Sparty as well.
And I have taken Arizona State in that game. Hate to go against the Big Ten. Hate to do it. Michigan State probably will pull it off late and win this game, but I just got a feeling about a trap game here for a Big Ten school on the road late at night. That type of thing. Late at night their time, you know. So, yeah. It's a primetime game, really, for Michigan State fans because, I mean, for the players anyway, because it'll be 7:45 or so when that game starts Michigan State time. Okay. How about UCLA at number 7, Oklahoma? And what time we got going
That's
here?
really no guess there. I'm going to go with Oklahoma.
Yeah, that game's at 1 o'clock on Fox. And most of the rest of these games we don't really need to pick because we're probably going to agree on them. I mean, Wisconsin's at home against North Dakota. North Mexico. Miami, Florida's got Savannah. Auburn's got Alcorn State. Here was the one. Ball State is at Notre Dame.
Ball State at Notre Dame.
Yeah, that game's on at 3:30 on NBC. Let me see if there's anything down here that catches my eye. We're probably not going to pick every game every week, because just go for the big matchups and go for the teams we care about as far as that's concerned, you know. Because most of these games, it's fairly obvious who's going to win. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and close it right there. Those will be the ones we pick against each other this week.
Yes, the Nebraska Cornhuskers was canceled due to lightning.
So they never got back to it.
Never got back to it, and it was canceled, and now the AD is actually screaming for a 12th game.
Yeah.
Because that's going to put them down one.
Yeah.
I mean,
So.
Come on, it was against Akron. You would have won that game.
So when we come back from this break, during this break, we're going to play the CFL scores by DiAmOnDbAcK.
CFL?
The NFL bumper by the iconic Drew, which is appropriate because when we come back from this break, we're going to do our NFL picks.
NFL?
For this week. And it starts tomorrow night with the Atlanta Falcons taking on the defending Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going to talk about that game first. We will pick every NFL game every week.
Every week.
So, but like I said, some of these college games, it's fairly obvious just by looking at the matchups. It's going to be a blowout. And if it's an upset, we wouldn't have picked it anyway. You know, nobody picked Appalachian State to beat Meat Chicken that year.
No.
Unless they were Appalachian State fans, and even they probably picked Meat Chicken. So, because they were not even Division I then.
Yeah, they weren't.
That is the thing that's so amazing about that.
They're at least Division I this year.
They're still.
Penn State can hang that.
At least Penn State can say, hey, at least they're a Division I school now. You know, it took us to overtime, but wow. Sorry about that, James Hand, if you're watching out there. Graveyard. He's a, he goes by Graveyard and several other names. He is a big-time Penn State fan. And a Browns fan, so he had some trash to talk to me the other night. So here we go. We'll start with some commercials. We're going to start with this Cosmic Sub commercial I made while I was at the Ohio Media School.
So you're tired of the same old yourselves? Come try Cosmic Subs. All
Where's my NFL picks? It's right here. Okay.
I'm going to read this statement from Killer One.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Herm Edwards is the head coach of Arizona State.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot about that, Cass. Thank you. Yeah. So now I really feel confident about my Arizona State pick. They might pull that off.
Ooh. Yeah, because Herm Edwards left and John Gruden left ESPN.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, baby.
I know.
The NFL is back. Woo!
So,
Cass, we might want your opinion on the Bengals. Got a big game coming up this weekend. Saskatchewan, that's my team. Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Although I do think they should wrap themselves up before the NFL. Also think Big Brother should wrap itself up before the NFL starts too. I really don't want. I'm going to be flipping back and forth tomorrow night. Irritating.
Tommy, how's it going there, Bubba?
Here comes Cass's picks. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not going to read all your... No, I'll read some of them, Cass. We know you're picking the Bengals.
Yeah, you realize I would never read the one line there that you have Tigers in, right?
When we come back, I'm going to do the normal bumpers I do, but you need to... I'll pass it over to you to read about the event again.
Oh, yes.
Because we need to do that every other segment.
And now, everybody, welcome to the iconic video update. So, right before week number 1 of the National Football League, talking about the big updates for preseason game. Who cares? Let's get Jordan coming to real football.
Yeah.
It comes to happening in the National Football League. Three targets, 8 cut, no special wide receiver.
And that'll be after I do all the Ferocious Bunny and number and all that stuff. I'll pass it over to you. And then we'll do the NFL picks. That's all I've got for now. Chargers, Lions, Vikings.
Yeah, everything's going great, Tom. Glad to see you checking in, man. We got to get you up here on the show, man.
Thankfully.
Oh, yes.
Sick.
I'll take what he pays in taxes.
No doubt. Sure what happened there. It's okay. And it's appropriate that Iconic Drew just gave us the picks and or the cuts and deals for the National Football League, since that's what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to give our picks for this first week of the National Football League. So before we get to that, though, remember this is the Ferocious Money Productions of the Iconic Drew and DiAmOnDbAcK Sports Opinion Show. And we're at hashtag Save the Crew phone line 614-781-0754. Once again, that number 614-781-0754. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, we're all over the place. Also on WTMHradio.com, which is sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. DiAmOnDbAcK, why don't you tell us about that great event coming up for WTMHradio.com.
That's the WTMH Radio Music Awards, Saturday, November 10th at 6 p.m. And that's going to be a red carpet event at the King's Arts Complex here in Columbus, Ohio, sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. So, to nominate your shows, for those of you that watch other shows here, listen to other shows here on WTMHradio.com.
It is radio.
Yes, it is radio.
It's radio, folks.
Well, you can't watch the radio. You can. It's not
You
going
can
to be
look
very
at the
exciting.
radio, yes.
Yeah, well, you can watch the radio. You know, one of these days I'll go home, sit on the couch, and watch. Or sit on the TV and watch the couch. Anyway, so we got go to www.WTMHradiomusicawards.com to nominate for your show or model or rap star on there. So
I'm going to win Rap Star this year.
are you?
Yes.
I think I'm going to win the best male model.
There you go.
At least I'll get one nomination for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure she will nominate you. So, all right, let's get into these picks here. DiAmOnDbAcK and everybody, this is, of course, the Ferocious Money Productions of the Iconic Drew and DiAmOnDbAcK Sports Opinion Show. We're at hashtag Save the Crew phone line 614-781-0754. But let's start with tomorrow night. First game of the year.
Tomorrow.
Gee, I wonder, DiAmOnDbAcK. First game of the year, we have DiAmOnDbACK's Atlanta Falcons going to Philadelphia to take on the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to let you pick this game first.
You're going to let me pick it first?
Yeah. I already got my picks written down, so I'm not going to change them.
Killer actually picks the Falcons, and he brings up a good point. He says if Wentz was playing, he would have picked the Eagles, but since he's not, that's a good point. But I'm still going to go with the home team on this. I'm going to go against my Falcons.
Whoa! I am shocked, DiAmOnDbAcK, that you're not picking your team. I know you're not as much a homer as me. That's obvious.
I'm not that much of a homer, man. I look at overall, and they are a better team.
Rams. I do think they're a better team, but I think that I'm picking your Falcons.
You're picking the Falcons.
And the reason I'm picking the Falcons is because I think they are more talented on offense. I think they're going to score a lot of points in this game, and I just feel that the Falcons are going to go in there and represent and win this game.
I am excited about the game. I mean, they are very electrifying on offense. With Julio Jones, we've got Calvin Ridley now. We've got a good running game as well as not an extremely great quarterback, but a great quarterback with Matt Ryan. So actually, looking forward to seeing them play, and I want to see how they handle themselves, and that's really going to show me how that is. But I always have rooted for them to lose their first game of the season, because they always seem to do better when they lose that first game.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep that in mind with my boys. Maybe that's what... No, never mind. Anyway, so...
Your boys don't have any mojo like that.
Yeah, you're right. Now, our mojo, well, it just starts off. But anyway, I think, yeah, like I said, I'm going to take the Falcons. I just think there's going to be a little bit of Super Bowl hangover for the Eagles. And they've got a little bit of... I mean, they're starting the quarterback that won the Super Bowl, so it's hard to say it's a bad thing as far as that goes. Like I said, I just like the Falcons at this game. I just think they're the better team.
I hope you're right. I mean,
So,
overall, but
I knew I figured you'd take the Eagles. All right. Now let's go to Sunday. Sunday, September 9th. We're going to go with the first matchup of the day, Bills versus Ravens.
Bills versus the Ravens. Wow. I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one.
Wow. Are we going to agree on any games today here in the NFL? The National Football League. I'm taking the Bills. The Ravens suck. Sorry, Ravens fans, call me. Call me. I don't care. Tell me I'm insane. I'm the insane iconic Drew. You know what? The Ravens suck. They got one player, and that's Flacco. Cass just said the Bills suck. They both suck, Cass.
That's what like.
Yeah, the Ravens are at home, and I do know that you should take the home team if both teams suck. I broke my own rule on this one because I think the Ravens suck more than the Bills. So only time will tell. Watch this. The Ravens will probably win like 10, 12 games this year and go on and win the Super Bowl and totally prove iconic wrong.
Prove you wrong.
But that's okay.
And piss you off.
No, it won't.
Oh, it won't.
No, I always root for AFC North teams in Super Bowls.
Oh, okay.
So,
But
because
you
it's
have a
our
problem-
division.
You probably have a problem with rooting for that team up north.
Well, we're not talking college football right
Oh.
now. DiAmOnDbAcK, we've left college football behind for the
I
evening.
know.
We are concentrating on the National Football League the rest of the night.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, on to the next game. The Jaguars. This is a great matchup. The Jaguars at the Giants.
Jaguars.
I like this matchup. This is a very good matchup. Like an offense versus defense.
No. Jaguars. Jaguars. Big
No,
time.
we're 0-3.
We are. Well, no. This is good. This is good. One of us is going to be extremely happy next week.
Right, exactly. Probably be you. But, no, I'm going with the Giants. I mean, they're at home. They have a great offense. I think their offense is going to really click this year. Everybody's coming back healthy. And I think Eli has, every other year, he has a good year. So this is year.
Killer's taking the Giants on this one.
Okay. Cass took the Jags. Not surprised there. Ramsey will frustrate Eli, and he probably will. God knows he frustrated the heck out of Big Ben last year. Anyway, but I'm going to stick with my pick. I'm going to take the Giants on that. Like I said, I picked games ahead of time, so I wouldn't change back and forth. But I do think the Giants at home. Plus, I don't mind the Jags getting a loss early. I'm okay with that too, obviously. I do think that they're a playoff team this year.
Yep.
So I don't want to think about, it's too early to think about seeding and all that stuff. But if you can get a team that you're worried about in the playoffs with a loss early, that's a good thing.
Oh.
So, all right. That's not the only reason I picked the Giants, though. Buccaneers at the Saints.
Buccaneers at the Saints.
I think we agree on this one.
Yeah, we're going to probably agree on this one because I'm taking the Saints.
And I've got the Ohio State Buckeyes, but not these Bucks. I'm going to take the Saints, and I think the Saints win big. I don't think it's a challenge for them this game. Buccaneers don't have their quarterback due to suspension. And I think that the Saints are just a better team anyway, at home especially. Yeah, Cass agrees with the Saints. So, yeah.
So do Killer.
And I don't think, I think we'd all be shocked if the Bucks won this game. So, this one's pretty straightforward.
Straight. All right.
We hope, we think. Okay, on to the next game. The Texans at the Patriots.
Texans at the Patriots. They're at the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, just mark it down. Because you know how to take them.
You taking the Patriots? For real?
Patriots.
I've got the...
No.
No, I don't. I've got the Patriots all the way. I think the Patriots win big in this game. I mean, they're at home. It's their first chance to show the world again this year, and they don't even have to win big because they just got to win. It's the NFL. It's what's great about the NFL. Just win, baby. And like Al Davis used to say, it's true. Just win, baby. It doesn't matter if you win 13-12 or 2-0. Just win. I'm happy. I'm always happy with a Steeler win, even if it's just 1 point. You'll notice we've not gotten to them yet. They are in the 1 o'clock matchups. So we're getting there. But, yeah, the Patriots are, I think it's a lock on that game. If I had to make a lock pick this week, it would either be that one or the Saints.
Killer's going out on a limb here. He's taking
Texans. Okay. Well, I hope he's right, personally.
Personally?
We all know my opinion of the Patriots, but, you know, I'm not a big fan, obviously, and never will be.
I'd love to watch them walk into Loserville a few 16 times this year.
Yeah, wouldn't mind seeing that team just fall apart. It won't happen.
No.
But wouldn't mind seeing them fall apart. By the way, folks, hashtag Save the Crew phone line, 614-781-0754.
That's 614-781-0754.
All right, we have the 49ers at the Vikings next.
I'm sorry, 49ers at the Vikings?
The Vikings. At the Vikings.
At the Vikings.
Yep.
They're not in Minnesota.
It's in Minnesota, not San Fran.
Okay.
49ers at the Vikings.
I got to mess with it.
What part of the ad did he not catch?
I'm going to go ahead and take the Vikings on that, and we'll go from there. It might be a close one, but I'm going to take the Vikings on that.
Okay. So, yeah, I've got the Vikings as well. I would have loved to have seen the quarterback for San Fran go on the win streak that he had going, but I think it's over. I think he gets his first loss. So, yeah, I like the Vikings in this matchup, especially at home. They should compete with Green Bay for that division. Cass is saying Kirk Cousins is going to explode. I'm not sold on Kirk Cousins yet. He's going to have to go out there and show me. I think they win this game because they're at home, and they're probably just the more talented team on paper. So, and what do we always say about on paper, Diamondback?
And the games are not played on paper; they're played inside TV sets.
Right, exactly. So, there we go. But I do think that the Vikings will win this game. I like them in this matchup. So we've kind of changed gears here. The first couple games, first 3 games, we disagreed. Last 3, we've agreed. So, see if we can break that.
Let's go ahead.
It's a 3-3 tie right now on that. How about the Titans at the Dolphins?
Titans at the Dolphins.
Once again, Titans on the road, Dolphins at home.
So that's being played in Miami, right?
Right. Miami, now one of my favorite cities in the whole world, even though I've never been there. There's a reason for that, but I'll talk about that later.
So we'll talk about that later. I'm going to go ahead and say
Cass takes the Titans.
he's taking the Titans. You know what? Just because it's Cass, I'll go against him.
Oh!
I'll go against them. I'll go with the Dolphins.
That's pretty much what I made a living on doing that last fall, picking against Cass and doing well. So, just kidding, Cass. Cass is actually decently smart when it comes to football. So, I will, right, exactly. I'm taking the Dolphins in this game as well. It's at home. I think it's going to be a good matchup, close. I think on paper the Titans are probably the better team. I just kind of feel like the Dolphins at home, it's going to be too much for them to, I think the Dolphins win.
Well, Killer's going to take the Titans as well.
Okay, well, our 2 of our best listeners out there, 2 of our best listeners that are male, are going against us on this pick. And that's fine. That's what it's a sports opinion show. And here we go, Cass. This one's for you. Bengals at the Colts. Who you got? Diamondback.
I see, Cass. He's gonna take the Bengals.
Well, yeah. He doesn't
Colts.
even.
I'm taking the Colts.
He doesn't even have to think about this pick.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts.
I mean, he's a homer. He's worse than I am on that.
Oh,
So,
wow.
no, he's not. I'm just kidding. I'm more of a homer than he is. He's more of a Buckeye homer than I am. But he's less of a Bengals homer than I'm a Steeler homer. I'm going to take the Bengals. I think the Cincinnati Bengals walk into Indianapolis and stomp on this team.
Well, Killer's taking the Bengals as well, so I guess I'm the odd man out.
I think that it's not even close. Andrew Luck is coming back from the surgery, and he's not even 100% back yet. I just think, man, the Bengals got too much for him. And like I said, I got the Bengals in the playoffs this year. So I think this is an easy win for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow.
They could be benching their starters by halftime.
He's turning it into a college game.
So, yeah, exactly. Turning into a college game blowout.
They're giving their freshmen a chance.
So let's mention, I don't want to mention Ellicast's comments unless he calls in, but his comment here about his Bengals. Now, it's his team, so I'm going to mention this one. He says, Bengals, I just think are more talented right now than the Colts. And he's right. So, let's talk about this matchup next. It's the last matchup of the 1 o'clock games. And here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Who you got, Diamondback? And I just know Cass is going to say Browns.
I'm going to go ahead and give Pittsburgh the nod on this one.
Wow, really?
I'm going to give him the nod on this one. I do not see Hugh Jackson breaking his 1 in 32. He's going to be 1 in 33 after this.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you other reasons why you should pick the Browns, everybody. As I sit here in my Ben Roethlisberger jersey, as a diehard Steeler fan, always will be a Steeler fan. But let me tell you why you should pick the Browns in this game. Number 1, they're at home. Number 2, they've got Josh Gordon back at wide receiver.
Okay.
Number 3, their quarterbacks have looked good in preseason. Granted, it's the preseason. But they've looked good in preseason. They went 3-1 this year. Last year they went 4-0 in preseason. Most people don't know that. So, also, the Steelers do not have Le'Veon Bell. He was not in camp today. I don't think he's going to play on Sunday. So we're going to go with Connor, not as proven or as good a running back as Bell. Obviously, Bell is a top 5, top 3 running back in the NFL, easily. So I think that those are all the reasons why you should pick the Browns. That being said, I'm taking the Steelers.
Oh.
Why? Because I'm a fan. No. Because
Because he's a homer, folks.
I am a homer. But they are more talented overall. Even without Le'Veon Bell, the Pittsburgh Steelers are still more talented than the Cleveland Browns. And if you ever need a tiebreaker in making a pick, just compare quarterbacks. They have a rookie quarterback who's probably going to start, I believe. They have a rookie quarterback who's going to start, and so if you compare that to Ben Roethlisberger, future Hall of Famer for sure, you got to give the nod to the Steelers because they have the better quarterback. That's the best tiebreaker you can usually use. Now, it doesn't always go that way. Best quarterbacks don't always win.
Now, Killer's agreeing with me and you, and he's taking the Steelers, but he's saying in overtime.
Well, I would take overtime as long as we win. And Cass says the Steelers win very close to the Browns. He says, I believe the Browns are better than last year, but just not enough there. And that's exactly right. I've been saying that all along, Cass. I think the Browns have definitely improved. That's why I got them finishing third in our division this year, ahead of Baltimore. They're a better team than Baltimore right now, and they're going to prove it this year. They'll sweep Baltimore. They might split with the Bengals. We'll see. Just kidding, Cass.
We're putting a beer on that. I still say that the Clowns finish last.
Well, we got to put a beer on something. That's what we do.
Well, we're putting a beer on the week, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a beer every week. So, we both took the Steelers. I'm surprised you. Well, no, I'm not surprised you did. You're getting pretty smart when it comes to football. So, then we have the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chefs.
At the, it pains me to say it, Los Angeles Chargers.
The Los Angeles Superchargers. I know that, man. The look I'm getting right now. Wow. Anyway. And he said they were playing the Chefs, correct?
Yeah.
And they are at LA.
They're at LA, yeah. It's at LA.
The Chefs will pull this one off. It'll be a squeaker.
And we agree completely on that. I'll take the Chiefs too. I think the Chiefs win. It's close, but it might be overtime again, but I think they win. Okay, next. Seahawks
Seahawks
at the Broncos.
at Denver.
Chargers
correct?
close. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He thinks he's funny, folks. He's not.
It's making you upset. I love it.
No, I'm not upset at all.
Okay. Anyways,
Chargers close.
Broncos on this one.
And we agree on this one as well. I think the Seahawks have lost too much in the offseason, especially defensively. So I think the Broncos win, especially at home. Here's a matchup that Killer's going to love. This one's for you, Killer.
Uh-oh.
The Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. And this hat I have on, everybody, by the way, it's not a Panthers hat, it's a Derby hat. They did lose to Davidson last week, 14-0. But they got a game coming up against Lancaster on Friday night. Folks, a little PSA right here. Go out and see some high school football this weekend. Local high school football. Enjoy it.
Oh.
It's out there for you. It's cheap entertainment. And those kids are out there working hard for you. So go take in a high school football game. It's really fun. Anyway, and go Derby. So, and go Heritage as well tomorrow night, my son's team. They play tomorrow night at 5:30. So, that all being said, the Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, before I read Killers, I'm going to ask Killer why on that pick. I am actually going to go with the Cowboys on this one.
Cass says the Cowboys, and so do I.
Killer is...
I think you're just picking against your division. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm not picking against my division.
Okay.
Because I picked the Saints.
You did pick. Well, that was an easy pick, though. Yeah, but aren't they playing a team in your division? Yeah, right. Sad but true, my friends.
Killer picked the Panthers on this. He actually went against his boys.
What? Okay, Killer's going to have to call in and explain himself. 614-781-0754, Killer.
Or speed
Hashtag
dial.
save the crew.
Yeah, hashtag speed dial there, Killer. 614-781-0754.
Right. So you both picked against your own teams.
We both picked.
Meanwhile, Cass and I both picked our teams.
Correct.
Although Cass's pick was easier than mine, I think. I personally, I would put more of a lock on the Bengals beating the Colts and the Steelers beating the Browns. So,
okay. I'm going to read this here. Panthers will be better team in the game, and they are at home. They're at home. Newton does not lose at home. I hate to break it to you, Scam has lost at home.
Scam. You haven't given. That's the other reason you don't like Carolina. You have never given up this Auburn angst.
No.
I mean, come on. They did everything illegally.
They did everything illegally, yes. They got away with it.
They got away with it. So, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah,
Is that the NASCAR saying?
That's the NASCAR saying.
Which is the National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing. I didn't say that earlier.
All right.
I was too upset to report that Keselowski won. Anyway, back to Redskins at the Cards.
At the Cards. We'll go with, I'll pick for Bob there. I'll say Redskins.
I was kind of thinking you might do that. Pick for Bob. I picked the Cards only because they're at home. This game was I threw a ball up in the air or a coin up in the air and said, that's a boring game. And Cass agrees. Boring game, but he'll take the Redskins too. So going against me with that one. And how about this matchup? Sunday Night Football, prime time, baby. The Bears. The Chicago Bears, who just picked up Malik Mack, against Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers. And Steve, if you're still watching, this pick's for you, brother.
So who you taking?
Who are you taking?
I go first a lot.
Oh, I'm taking the Packers.
Taking the Packers.
I think it will be more interesting because.
Excuse me, folks. Excuse me. Killer's taking the Packers as well. And
So
I'm
scared.
going to go ahead and go with the Packers as well.
Well, we got to clean sleep on that one. Packers all the way around. I do think it's going to be close. I don't think this is a lock pick, especially with Mack now with the Bears. I think he does make a difference.
He won't touch Rodgers.
Probably not. But man, tell you what, if Mac tackles Rodgers, how much money is on that one play? That's the money play, baby.
Legalized gambling is allowed now here in the States.
Right. So that's.
And you can bet on a play.
We talked about that about several months ago before Diamondback joined the show. We did
that was one of my first shows.
Well, that's right. You were on that one. Okay.
One of my first shows.
Okay, so then we got the Monday night matchups. As everybody knows who follows the National Football League, there's always 2 Monday night football games the first week of the season.
Right, because they don't play any Monday night on the last day.
Right, and that's exactly why.
And that's awesome that they went to that, because now everything's done.
Oh, yeah, I like it wrapped up on that Sunday. Playoffs are set, and then the coaches can be fired the next day to make it. So, which is known as Iconic Drew Employment Day, is what that's known as. So,
never gets called.
Well, not yet, but I'm trying. Jets to Lions.
Jets to Lions. I'm taking the Lions.
Okay. And so is the Iconic Drew. Iconic Drew will take the Lions as well at home, and the Jets suck. They're still the Jets at this point. I don't see them even competing with the Lions in this game. I'm not going to call it a lock, but there's only like a couple lock picks in here for me. No, it's not the Steelers. Rams at the Raiders. The late game.
What is with the Raiders always getting this Monday opening game? The Raiders have done this like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, well, they're West Coast, so they have to play. It has to be a West Coast teams.
There's the Niners out there.
Well, the Niners are playing on Sunday at Minnesota.
I'm just tired of it.
He's tired of the Raiders.
I'm tired.
The
I'm tired of the Raiders getting this.
The Raiders.
Special. Anyway, so Killer took the Lions in the last one.
Yep.
And he's taking the Raiders here. And
Killer just okay. He's in Canada. We'll forgive him.
And I'm going to go ahead and take the Raiders as well.
And I am taking the Rams.
You're taking the Rams.
Yep, absolutely.
The other Los Angeles team.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. And Cass has given us the Super Bowl picks too. Chargers versus Packers. Wow, the Chargers. Okay, he's high on the Chargers this year, which I'm okay. We'll see. But I do like the Rams in this matchup. I just think with Mac again, we got to talk about Mac. He's gone, and Gruden made the comment. He was like, "Well, our defense sucked with Mac last year. Well, the defense is going to suck even more without him."
Maybe.
So.
Maybe, or he might be able to pull them in because Mac's not taking so much of the. Maybe he's attention all of it. I don't know. You know, Gruden has his reasons why he wanted him gone, and we will, as fans, probably will never know.
So we have 6 games different this week, Diamondback. 6, which means we could have done a tie, and we know what that means. So we don't want that. So we'll have to figure out a tiebreaker. Maybe the total score for Raiders. Total points. But we can do that later.
2.
So 2-0. 2-0 Rams. Yes. Anyway, I'll take it. So when we come back, we are going to talk about some of the NFL rule changes that just came down. During this break, we will have the we will have the Diamondback Major League Baseball update. We'll have a couple commercials that I did as well, the Iconic Drew, and we'll play those. But when we come back, we will talk about the NFL rule changes, what's going on in the NFL this year, and some of the changes that are coming down the pike. We'll debate those, talk about whether we like them or not, kind of take a look at the whole rule, and then decide if we like it or we think it's trash. So I like it. Anyway, so when we come back, we're going to talk about that right now.
I thought you were going to break into the Tim McGraw song there. I like it, I love it.
Like it, well, it's that 97.1 The Fan, right? Like it, love it.
All right, guys. You can watch it live on Facebook. actually see the show on there. You will see the iconic Drew LMS.DiAmOnDbAcK at YouTube. You can also catch him on his channel. I keep wanting to say the iconic Drew. It's iconic Drew. You can look him up there. As well as WTMH Radio YouTube, as well as WTMHradio.com. And that is brought to you by Unplugged Magazine. Almost got 100.
Good, it's together.
Almost got 100 losses on available hot team this week.
Good. I'm gonna try something here in just a minute. Four to 1. You know your rant's coming up after this next segment, right?
After this next
NFL rule changes, commercials, and then you.
I'm not confident with this one this week. But it's something I can bitch about.
Thanks. Throw my Tigers under the Motor City Kitties under the bus right away.
Of course, Motor City Kitties was the first one on there.
I suck. My Motor City Kitties suck. At least I know what it's like to be a Browns fan because I'm a Motor City Kitties fan. Sorry, Cass.
It's going to be another boring college football game. To you, killer. That's what I meant.
God, freaking 250 on this one. 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
I was just trying to keep it right at the 3-minute mark.
I'm just messing with you. 3 minutes is perfect. Okay, we're still on.
Jesus. I need to learn how to set that up to play on.
I've been exploring the wireless world of Sprint.
The heck?
I've learned Sprint is building America's mobile 5G network. I've also discovered
I guess we have Sprint as a sponsor.
Okay, folks, it's still not working. I don't know why when I play this commercial at the school, at the Ohio Media School, I get Bob's Motorcycle commercials. When I come here, I don't. But you know what? Maybe I'll never try it again. Anyway, let's play this. 1 second.
1 second.
Go back to the
Gee, what's happening after this?
We're back.
That is a good idea.
Well, welcome back, everybody, and that was the smooth stylings of the iconic Drew, and this is the Ferocious Bunny Productions of the iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show. We are at hashtag Save the Crew, phone line 614-781-0754. Once again, that number
614-781-0754, hashtag Save the Crew.
You can also find us on WTMHradio.com, sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. When's that event coming up, Diamondback?
I lost it. Hang on here.
So that event is, I've actually got it now. Hold on.
Saturday.
Good.
Saturday, November 10th, 6 p.m. Red carpet event at the King's Arts Complex. That's Columbus, Ohio.
Time's over
Sponsored
later,
by
so
Unplugged
down.
Magazine. And we have the nominations. You can go and nominate for your show or whatever you would like to nominate for. www.wtmhradiomusicawards.com. The nomination period ends Sunday, September 30th.
All right, so that's going to be an awesome night. Iconic Drew will be in attendance, has to wear a tie. I have a special tie picked out, and definitely going to be sporting that tie that night. I'm just going to give you a hint. It is in the colors of black and gold. So, anyhow, well, I don't want to give away too much.
Gee, I wonder. Black and gold. Oh, it's a Columbus Crew. Hashtag save the crew tie.
Yes, exactly. Hashtag save the crew tie.
Only you. Only you.
Only me? What are you talking about? So I am looking forward to that night. I'm going to be sporting that tie and bringing home some gold for the iconic DiAmOnDbAcK Sports Opinion Show. That is at the same place that the iconic Drew graduated from, over there at the King Arts Complex here on Mount Vernon Avenue in Columbus, Ohio.
Never been.
Home of the Buckeyes.
Never been.
It's an interesting place.
It is? Okay.
So, anyway, let's talk about the NFL rule changes now.
Rule changes. Rules.
Rule changes.
They changed rules?
Again. They do it every year.
Who are we protecting this week?
Well, we're protecting anybody that gets hit by a helmet.
Oh.
That's our first rule change.
Oh, yeah, well, nice segue.
Yes, good
Without
job,
knowing.
Diamondback. You did not even research this, did you? Anyway, it's okay.
Oh, I don't know what you're going to bring up first.
He's a great sidekick. So,
Are you going
this
to
is
help me
the
hook up computers at Columbus City
this
Schools?
no.
No, I didn't think so.
This is the use of helmet rule. This rule states that it is a foul if a player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with his helmet against an opponent. This rule pertains to players on the field and to all areas of the field. The officiating standards for the use of helmet rule are lowering the head, not to include bracing for combat or contact, initiating contact with the helmet to any part of an opponent, making contact on the opponent both offense and defense. Players can be ejected for use of helmet fouls. All ejections will be reviewed by senior official Art McNally and Game Day Central, located in New York.
New York.
The standards for ejections are: the player lowers his helmet to establish a linear body posture, to initiating and making contact with the helmet. The player delivering the blow had an unobstructed path to his opponent, and if the contact was avoidable. Okay, so Diamondback, what do you think about this rule?
Well, this here is something that should be fundamentals of football in the first place. They should be always looking where they're running and not drop their helmet anyways. They should be where they're going to be hitting, because that person can trip up, drop himself, and things that could give them actually a little bit of time. So actually, I don't have a problem with this rule change. The spearing and everything else like that. Yeah, I loved those hits back in the day. I loved, when they would, I loved it. But there was a lot going on there, and they got more of a chance of hurting themselves as well as the person they're about to hit. So I don't have a problem with this rule change.
My only problem, well, first of all, let me preface all this by saying I'm all for player protection. I have a son that plays 8th grade football, and I like the fact that he's coming up in this era. It's all about protecting the players on the field.
Correct.
They are the entertainers. We have to keep them healthy because they entertain us. That's why we watch them, because they're entertaining. So, however, sometimes I feel like we go too far. It is still football. It is still a contact sport.
It's still a contact sport.
And no, I don't think, for example, I'm a Steeler fan, as everyone knows. And I'm glad to see that Mr. Ryan Shazier is up and walking around.
Yes.
And talking about playing football again. Whether he ever does or not is, to me, beside the point as a Steeler fan.
Even if he just takes one snap and walks off the field.
Great player as a Buckeye. Great player as a Steeler. Love Ryan Shazier. Prayed for him a lot during that time period. However, he led with his head on that hit. He led with his head. That's why he got hurt, because of the way he tackled that day. He didn't wrap up. He didn't see his opponent. He launched, and he hit with his helmet, the crown of his helmet. And if anybody disagrees with me on that, go ahead and call in. But I think that's why Ryan got hurt on that play.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You're jarring a lot more there. You're jarring the neck muscles as
But
well as the back muscles.
if you're in the middle of a play where a running back is coming towards you, and there's a bunch of people coming in to make the tackle on him, and one player lowers his helmet because he's trying to get down to the level and make the tackle. My biggest problem with this is it shouldn't be any part of the helmet where the penalty comes in play. It should be just the crown, because that's where the injuries happen, is with the crown of the helmet.
Correct.
I think we're going too far again. This is typical knee-jerk reaction of football because we want to protect our players. And again, I'm all for protecting the players, but sometimes I just think we go too far.
As I said, I maybe I'm missing the change there, but the back in the day.
Well, the whole ejection
they used
thing.
the rep. Well, the ejection thing is hey, there's a huge consequence here. Was it intentional? If it's seen and deemed that it's intentional, heck yeah, eject the guy for it. If he's just reacting to being, oh, I'm going to be hit, so I'm going to drop my head, then it's a reaction. That should not be.
Well, and here's the other problem with this rule. This is about the refs and their opinion of a play, so it's more of this gray area of, like with pass interference.
Well, you said it was going back to New York.
It's going to be reviewed.
So,
But-
I mean, yeah, they might be trying to get him out, but that guy back in New York, he ain't going to have the same vendetta as
Well, I'm not talking about vendetta. I'm talking about the fact that it's a gray area. It's a gray rule. Putting this rule into effect is nothing but gray. There's no black and white with this rule. And that's my biggest problem with it, is I feel like what you need to do is have standards, have it set so that we know exactly what's going to be called and what's not going to be called. That's why it should be just the crown of the helmet and not any part of the helmet.
Killer's chiming in with that is how Dennis Byrd ended his career
Yes.
as a New York Jet in the 80s. And that is very good. That's a good point there, Killer. I mean, but as I said, I don't see that as that bad. Yeah, I can see your point. It's a gray area. It's at the discretion of the ref and the individual at the other end in there in New York City. So.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's my biggest problem with it, is it's more gray area for officials. It's more things for fans to be pissed about if it happens to your team. It's more of this, oh, let's just decide we're going to eject it, and yeah, everything's going to be reviewed. I get that. And again, everything's going to be reviewed by this guy in New York. How long is the review going to take? How much is this going to slow down the game? That's another issue. We don't need to slow down the game of football.
So I think my feed here is catching up there. Killer also says it took 20 years for it to happen again, and so why the change now? So
It's a knee-jerk reaction. It's the NFL doing what they do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't worry about it 20 years ago. We really didn't. Now all of a sudden, we're worried about concussions. We're worried about neck injuries, back injuries, stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, they're overreacting a little bit, but as I said, I don't have a problem with this because it's actually, to me, it seems like it's laid out.
It's gray. I don't see it laid out. I don't see where we're talking about.
We'll see how.
We'll see how it's implicated.
We'll see
how it's implied, but applied, I should say. Yeah, we'll see how it's applied. I mean, I guess maybe that's my biggest thing is when it comes to the NFL. I do worry about someday waking up and going, this year's NFL rule changes is they're all going to wear flags. We're going to play flag football from now on. That way, no one gets hurt. Okay.
They go to flag football. I'm done.
Well, I think that's the only way any of us old school guys are done, because they can make any rule changes they want. We're still going to keep watching, and they know that. So, but
I just didn't like when NFL was talking out of both sides when they were sitting there going, "Oh, we're going to sell you the greatest hits." Boom. And then, concussion is bad. Pick a side on that one, bud. You
Yeah.
got to pick a side on that one because you were just on the side of the green there. That's all the side you was there. So
Yeah, that's a valid point, Diamondback. I see that too. I have an issue with this whole. Oh, let's make money off of hits that we have fined players for. We fine players for these hits and sell the consumers money, get money from the consumers at the same time. Because I mean, let's be honest, we do like the big hits.
we do.
As long as everybody gets up, I have no problem with a big hit.
Well, I mentioned it earlier.
Oh, the only problem I have is when they lead with the crowd of their helmet, like Ryan did, like I said before.
I mentioned this with the new Falcon Stadium, the Mercedes Stadium down there. They actually, there's several seats that you can purchase where a big hit happens, it vibrates. The seat vibrates.
Wow. That'd be cool.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out, big hit happens, why is the seat vibrating? Because I'm standing up to take a look.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I see too much potential gray area here. Maybe the NFL will prove me wrong. Maybe they'll just be like, nope, this is what we're doing, Iconic Drew, and this is how it's going to work out. And, I mean, I don't like it that wide receivers get up after every play, and every team does it. Every wide receiver does it in the league. Gets up and starts looking for a flag if they don't catch the ball.
If they don't catch the ball, and it happens no matter what. I seen it in a high school game where the kid was like, he's throwing his hand up, well, hey, where's the flag? Where's the flag? Come on, man, that was a legal hit. You touched the ball at the same time he hit you.
Right. Welcome to football.
Welcome to football.
I mean,
You're
it
going
is.
to get hit.
At the end of the day, it's a contact sport. This is what worries me about the National Football League, taking contact out of the game too much. It's contact. It's a contact game. So, no, I don't like to see people. I don't care what color jersey a person's wearing. I don't want to see them get hurt. Even me, chicken. I don't even want to see them get hurt.
No, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. I mean, that's the objective. That's our thoughts behind it. Yes, we love to see them hit and get up staggering a little bit, going ouch. But in the long run, you don't want to see.
And I have no problem with the concussion protocol. I think that's a great idea by the NFL.
Yeah,
I have no problem with concussion protocol at all. It's not like when I played. It was like, hey, Brian, put some dirt on it and get back in the game. So, they might have even said that. They might have said, hey, where's 84? Get back in the game. Where are you at? So
84, huh?
84. Same number as Antonio Brown. How about that?
Oh.
So, anyway, not that I was even close. So, when we come back from... Anyway, so when we come back from break here, we will have the Diamondback rant. It's time for Diamondback to get angry. Tell us what he's angry about this week. Which college division he's mad at this week. Killer, this is for you. I think that, I'm hoping you get through all the conferences because I've enjoyed it personally. I think it's funny. So I've enjoyed it, and it was the best one was when you ripped on the SEC. That was my favorite one.
That's the favorite one?
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of an easy rant,
It's fairly obvious.
Quit scheduling these cupcake games later in the season.
During this break, we are going to have the National Hockey League update by the iconic Drew.
NHL.
Yes, and pretty soon we're going to have the NHL season in about a month.
Hey, it's right around the corner.
So that's for you, from our friends from Canada. And everywhere else, go Blue Jackets. And once again, that hashtag Save the Crew phone line is 614-781. We're going to save the phone line tonight instead of the crew.
Hashtag Save the phone line.
Hashtag Save the Crew, 614-781-0754.
That's 614-781-0754. That's hashtag
Save the Crew. Thank you. Here we go.
Hashtag Save the phone line.
Hashtag Save the phone line, everybody.
Wow.
It's time for the iconic Drew National Hockey League update here.
I have to prove I'm human once in a while.
Update on one of the Jackets have signed together yet. So stay tuned for that. I know that's what all the Blue Jackets fans are talking about. We'll find out pretty soon. Here's the potential breakout players for the upcoming season competition. Center, Luke DeBra from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Nico Archer from New Jersey. Joe Harrison from Minnesota.
Huh? Did who come back? Oh, Goalie Bob, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Goalie Bob's back.
Yay for the NHL. He rolled his eyes, by the way, at the ramp.
Now, time to prepare an update for this week here, August 29th, when we're closer to the beginning of the season. And here's the update. I haven't signed them yet, and hopefully they will, but Red Jackets, and this is good, the iconic drew with the National Hockey League update for August 29th.
So Diamondback, this time you do get the rant coming up.
Yes.
So do you want to introduce it this time? You want to start the segment?
Nope.
No? Why not, man?
I'm still not ready.
Wow. All right. Maybe eventually we'll get you there. Of course, you know, hashtag save the phone line. I'm the professional. Hashtag save the crew phone line, 614-781-0754. Once again, that phone number, hashtag save the crew phone line, 614-781-0754. And when we come back, it's time for Diamondback to rant.
I do want to come up and record something for the rant. I got a couple ideas.
We're actually running right on time now. Welcome back, everybody, to the iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show, the Ferocious Bunny Productions of the iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show. We are at hashtag Save the Crew phone line, 614-781-0754. WTMHradio.com, sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. And also, we are on our own YouTube channels this week, along with Facebook as well. Get all that working for you this time around. Ready to go. You're just not seeing my mug on the YouTube channel, but actually that's probably for the best. So, yeah, we definitely got things going now here, folks. As far as that is concerned, we are ready to rock it tonight. Started off with a great song and Sweet Emotion. We've talked about some NFL rule changes. Made some picks for the NFL and for college football as well. And now it's time for that moment in the show where the iconic Drew stays quiet for a few moments, mutes his own mic, and lets Diamondback have the floor. Diamondback, are you ready to rant?
Why not?
Here we go. I am muted.
All right. So, I know Killer absolutely loves when I get onto these kicks of the different conferences. So, I'm actually going to do you a little bit of favor here, Killer. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw two conferences under the bus on this one. I'm actually going to throw the last two, and that's going to be the Big 12 and the Pac-12. Because I'm going to rant that they have gotten so complacent of mediocrity down there. They don't have any teams that actually go for it anymore. Oklahoma, okay, yeah, you got Oklahoma and you got Oklahoma State that actually fight for a shot at it. Then you also have this year you got number 15 TCU Horned Frogs there, as well as the number 14 West Virginia. But really, how long are they going to stay into this? They ain't going to stay into it long. Texas, come on, buddy. You guys used to actually be relevant. The last time you were relevant, that's right, when you played Alabama in the national title. What? You got slapped around, you got embarrassed, it's over? No, you guys got to come back. This, you lost to Maryland. Maryland! Why are you losing to a team like Maryland? Twice, 2 years in a row. No. No. Come on. Get back into the game. Start playing like you used to play. I mean, you guys had a great division. Great division, great conference, and you guys should have more than just 2 teams, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Oh, Texas Christian University. Really? No, they're not. Okay, I'm looking forward to Iowa being in the freaking playoffs before that happens. So, that brings me to the Pac-12. Yes, the Pac-12. What do we have there? We have Stanford and Oregon and USC ranked this. Now, USC, I'm used to it, as well as Washington. I know Washington lost to Auburn, which, hey, that happens. Everybody loses to Auburn once in a while. They get lucky. But they played a top 10 team, and they lost. But we're counting on Washington holding your conference together? No. Come on, USC, get back in the game. Once again, last time you were relevant? Oh, that's right. When you won, no, you had to give that up. No national title for you. As well as you had to give up a Heisman. What kind of crap is that crap? No. Just quit with the mediocrity and get back into the game. Don't cry and moan because, oh, we didn't have a team make it into the playoffs. Be relevant. End of rant.
Okay, so you're basically saying the Pac-12 and the Big 12 are not relevant.
They're not relevant anymore.
Huh? Okay.
I'm disappointed in them. I hope they prove me wrong. I want to see these teams back. As I said, college football is exactly what it is. It has a lot more involved. We have 6 teams from each conference in the NFL that make it. We got 120 teams and
138.
138.
Yeah, we stood corrected on that.
Yeah, we
or
got
sat corrected on
I'm
that.
Sorry, so I got corrected again. Come on, it's one of
Turn
the
my mic back on to see what happens. 138 teams. Yeah, in Division I football. So
I don't think they're relevant anymore. And USC's got to show me more than just. We'll see how this goes.
yeah. Yeah.
I
find it hard to disagree with this rant overall, but I got to say, I think one of my favorite conferences to watch is the Big 12.
Oh, they put up numbers.
Yeah.
Get a defense.
Right. Oh, I can't wait till
get a defense.
next week when we make our college football picks. What I'll have to say about the Ohio State TCU game. I'll just tease that right now.
Wow.
But that's
gonna
be an interesting comment by the iconic Drew next week on that game. So stay tuned for that, everybody, next week.
That's without your head coach, but he gets to coach him during the week.
Of course, which is only fair. So anyway, I think that it is only fair. I don't see why not.
Suspend him or let him coach. One of the two.
I don't see why not. I like it. So, but no, seriously though, I think that what we have to look at here though is the Big 12. They don't play defense.
No, they don't.
So, are they, in your opinion, are they not relevant because they don't play defense in that division or that conference?
They're just not relevant because they don't do anything.
You didn't mention West Virginia.
I did mention West Virginia. They are ranked right now, but they're West Virginia.
So what's that mean? They're going to
They
fall
used
on
to
their
play
face?
Pitt.
They used to play Pitt. What's that supposed to mean?
Is Pitt relevant?
It's not the point. That's not my question. What is that supposed to mean? Just because they
come out
play
of the
Pitt?
Big East. Come on.
Yeah.
Really, is the Big East that big of a conference? No, they're not even a Power 5 conference. And I don't think it should be just a Power 3 conferences, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Well, I think that first of all, I don't necessarily think the Big 12. I'll give you the the Pac-12. I mean, I'd like to see my Oregon Ducks wake up out there a little bit and go back to being relevant again.
I'd love to see that.
But
too.
I think the fun thing about the Big 12, like I said, they put up some points. Each one of those teams can put up 70 to 80 points a week, especially against each other because there's no defense. And they're fun games to watch. It's almost like watching an Arena League football game. It's about the same. They might as well start them at the 50-yard line. So,
Just put the ball on the goal line and say, okay. go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. No, they can't be stopped. Their offenses cannot be stopped inside their own division, inside their own league, and they could all score,
You know, and
which makes those games fun. That's why I think they're relevant, because I think that, yes, is it true that defense wins championships? At the end of the day, defense does win championships.
right. I mean,
However,
that's always been.
it's
that's been proven
still-
several times.
The best Alabama team and the best defense they've had. Remember that one year we watched Alabama win a national championship, and
After they played LSU
and whoever they were playing
it was LSU.
could not get past the 50-yard line until late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, when Alabama finally got tired.
Right.
But
Exactly.
They were there to prove a point. They were
So,
there to prove a point.
but that's my point. I'd like to see a great defense like that go up against the best team in the Big 12 and see what happens.
I mean, and that was two great defenses going at it that day for that.
Right.
You know, because it was basically a continuation of the first game, and I was, you know, because that was a 6-9 game. That was just nothing but kickers going at it,
Yeah.
and because neither team could find the end zone. You know,
Right.
with their players. But yeah, I would love to see that. I always love to see that because they sit there and well, you don't play anybody with an offense. Really? We don't. But when we play you guys, we dominate. And I'm talking that's just not Alabama. That was Auburn. That was LSU when you guys played against them, and the Big 12 couldn't match up because they could not play the defense.
Well, they don't have a defense. But my contention is, though, that I don't know that just because a conference doesn't play defense, and the Big 12 is known for not playing defense, I don't know if that means that they're not relevant as a conference. I'm not sure I buy that. They're not relevant only because they don't play defense?
No, that's not the only reason. They're
Okay,
not
what's the other
relevant.
reasons?
When was the last time they made playoffs? Either one of those two conferences.
Okay, they didn't make it last year,
They didn't make it last year.
but Oregon has made it. The Oregon Ducks made it to Ohio State, won the whole thing.
Right.
The
That was
Ohio
it.
State.
That was it.
Is that the only Pac-12 team that's
the
made
only-
it?
only Pac-12.
Maybe that is true. But no, I'm not arguing the Pac-12, though. I mean, I think the Pac-12 may be a better conference overall.
Oklahoma's
but-
done it.
You know, I'm sorry, man. Just because they, first of all, not making the play. First of all, is there an East Coast bias?
There might be. There might be.
And there's definitely an SEC bias, especially at ESPN. Don't get me started on that.
Oh, okay. Do you want to rant again?
No,
Cry?
not gonna rant.
Gonna cry?
No, it wasn't a cry. It was a rant. There's a difference. Fact of the matter is, I was right. The SEC is loved by ESPN. The Big Ten is not. And also, the ESPN does not like the Pac-12 either.
They don't like the Pac-12. Matter of fact, I do believe ESPN pays for the Longhorn Network
Lot-
as well as
A lot of East Coast bias.
um,
They pay for the Longhorn and the SEC.
the SEC. No, they also pay for the. There's another team in the Big Big 12.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
That they do. It's escaping me off the top of my head. I was thinking it was TCU, but it's not.
Yeah,
It'll come to me later.
right. I'm sure it will.
Want to be irrelevant.
So, I mean, that's the thing right there. I think that just because, and I got to disagree with that, I think the Big 12 is relevant because they can compete with anyone as long as they don't run into too stingy of a defense. Now, granted, like I said before, defense wins championships, Diamondback. I agree with that completely.
They're gonna have to literally tire the other defense out, and that, just like Clemson did to Alabama, the third national title with the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, Clemson did. They just wore Alabama out, walked them up and down the field until the defense was like, just do what you want.
Yeah.
And we kept putting it in Jalen Hurts' hands to get us back down the field, and he couldn't do it because their defense wasn't tired. They were very well rested.
Right. I mean, I just think it's an interesting matchup, and I don't think we could say the Big 12. In my opinion, I don't think the Big 12 is irrelevant. I think the problem with the Big 12 is they don't play defense. If you're going to rip on the Big 12, rip on the fact that they don't play defense, not that they're irrelevant.
And we'll see how they do here as the season goes on. So.
But yeah, I mean, I still say the Big 12 is relevant. I agree with the Pac-12. I mean, I think who we got USC. They got to show us something.
Yeah, show us something. It's been a while. I mean, I know they're ranked 17th.
Yeah.
You know, but they have to show me something this year. They can't just go, oh, yay, we're here. Oh, never mind.
Right.
They got to be consistent. And I think USC can be a damn good team. I think the Ducks can be a damn good team. You know, it's just they.
Now, obviously, one of my Final Four is already done because they lost Auburn. Granted, one-loss teams can still get in the Final Four.
Yeah, no, and if Auburn runs tables.
But if we have a East Coast bias and an SEC bias, which we do, both of those things, if we have both of those things going on, then there's no way the Huskies can overcome that loss to Auburn. They lost to an SEC team that's going to lose to Alabama at the end of the year in the Iron Bowl. That's a guarantee. And then, well, yeah, I mean, it's Alabama. They're not going to get beat. They're not going to get beat until the Final Four by Ohio State. But anyway, so, you know, Alabama should run the table with that schedule. They got no one. So, meanwhile, the Huskies got to win the Pac-12, which you just said is irrelevant. It doesn't even matter if they win the Pac-12.
If they're
not going to make the Final Four.
They run the table and Auburn runs the table.
But Auburn's not going to. But Auburn's not going to run the table.
Auburn's got some really good games that they got to match up because they got to play LSU.
Yeah.
They have to play Alabama, and they are going to have to play Georgia.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've got 3 tough games coming, and they've already played 1 tough game. They have got next to Ohio State. I put Ohio State and Auburn as the 2 toughest schedules in college.
Well, that's probably true. That's probably true.
I will not take that away from anybody.
So when we come back from this next break, it's going to be time for the iconic Drew rant, which is always epic. Of course, it's always good and it's always right. So we come back, we're going to have that rant. Wow, Diamondback, really? I get that look? Hashtag save the crew phone line 614-781-0754.
That's right. Hashtag save the crew phone line 614-781-0754.
I'm not going to live it down, am I? You're not going to let me live that one down.
This whole show.
That's just wrong, Diamondback. I'm the pro. So we come back. We're going to have the Diamondback rant, or excuse me, the iconic Drew rant. We just had the Diamondback rant. That's what I was going to say. We just had
save the phone line.
We just had the Diamondback rant. We're going to have the iconic Drew rant right after this. We had a little surprise during this commercial break here because the iconic Drew needs to run down the hall real quick.
Oh.
And
so I need to bring up my intermission.
So here we go.
Oh, I don't have that one ready, so we'll just do that.
There it is. Okay. Listen, come here.
Okay.
Before I smack you. No, you got to know what to do in case this runs out. It's only like 3 minutes.
Okay.
Come here.
I was trying not to move because I might have to run.
Good Lord. What do you do with it? You folks get to look at an empty chair. I'm sorry. I'll be back. When this stops, just push this play button right in the middle. Play it again. I'll be right back. Yep. I'll be fast. I promise I'll be fast.
He'll be fast. What's fast to him? I know he's not as big as me, but I don't think he can run a 40 and 2 point something. I don't think anybody can run that. How's it going, Cass? 43 seconds. Well, since I'm on mic, it's going to be muted.
Okay, folks, sorry about that. This is the Iconic Drew. I'm back, and now we're going to play Todd's commercial. Sorry about that interlude there, folks, but nature calls. So here we go, Todd. This is just for you. Damn it.
Shaggy, when you go home to visit your mom, and she say, "What do you do that?" Well, this is the Iconic Drew. Every time I need a haircut, I go see Todd at Todd's Barbershop. There are always sports on the TVs, and everyone gives their opinion on sports. Sometimes even topics from the Iconic Drew and cast of characters sports opinion show. Todd has been cutting hair for over 18 years, and his very first, he really gives his opinion on sports and anything else we're discussing. If you want to get a great haircut at an old-fashioned barbershop, go see Todd the Barber at Todd's Barbershop. Located at 3867 Avenue Street, Hilliard, Ohio, in the heart of Dallas, near Columbus, Ohio. Hours are Tuesday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Thursday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Closed on Sunday and Monday because
Todd
is a
family man.
So if you need a haircut, do what the Iconic Drew would do. Go see Todd at Todd's Barbershop.
That's right, folks. Go see Todd at Todd's Barbershop. Right now, this is called the live look-in segment of the show. And there's only one of us here because DiAmOnDbAcK had to go take care of nature calling as well. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We are going to have the Iconic Drew rant coming up here, although I'll probably wait for DiAmOnDbAcK to get back so he can hear the rant. Right now, we're just going to go ahead and play another commercial here because we can do that. In fact, let's do this. Now, where was it? 1 second, folks. I'm sorry. One of these said, yeah, they're right here. All right, let's play this.
Yeah, it's time for the Iconic Drew National Basketball Association update for August 29th. Here on the Iconic Drew and DiAmOnDbAcK Sports Opinion Show. Look at the top 10 power rankings with an honorable mention coming in at 18, the Detroit Pistons. Why? Because they're my favorite team. Number 10, the Indianapolis Pacers from the East. The Denver Nuggets at 9 from the West. The Utah Jazz also from the West. The Los Angeles Lakers from the West. The LeBron Lakers coming in at number 7. The Oklahoma Thunder coming in at number 6 from the West. The Philadelphia 76ers coming in at number 5 from the East. The Toronto Raptors from the East as well. And the Houston Rockets from the West coming in at number 3. The Boston Celtics from the East coming in at number 2. And the Golden State Warriors coming in at number 1 from the West. The reason I mentioned where they're all from, that's 6 teams from the West, 4 from the East. Top heavy with the West there at the beginning, and then the East kind of takes over, but the West wins out with the Warriors being number 1. Probably going to be the championship matchup between the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics. Only time will tell. But this has been the Iconic Drew with the National Basketball Association update for August.
So that was the National Basketball update there with the Iconic Drew. And, of course, right after this little welcome back break here, we're going to have this live look-in break with Iconic Drew and DiAmOnDbAcK. This is the Ferocious Money Productions of the show. And hashtag Save the Crew phone line, 614-781-0754. Once again, that number is hashtag Save the Crew phone line, 614-781-0754. Give us a call. So, when we come back, we're going to have the Iconic Drew rant, which means that, unfortunately, DiAmOnDbAcK's microphone will be muted. It's not right now.
I can't tell. I'm not allowed.
Right, well, I wasn't allowed to talk to yours. This is how it works.
Oh, okay.
This is how we do it this is how the big
Is that how
boys
we
do
act
it.
professional?
Yeah, that's how we act professional, and we're trying tonight, man. But we both had to run down the hall for the nature calls break. So, anyway, let's get Iconic Drew's pump up music going tonight and get things going here with the rant. Just a moment. Yes, welcome back to the iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show here on Ferocious Bunny Productions. And this is, of course, hashtag Save the Crew phone line, 614-781. Once again, that number is 614-781-0754. It is time for the iconic Drew rant. And before I really get started on that rant, I do have to give credit to that music. That was Van Halen with You Really Got Me, a great song. So that's what I decided to do for my pump-up music this week. Love that song. That's a really good song as far as that goes. So anyhow, for this rant tonight, I got to say I'm not probably as fired up as I was last week. You know, that was a much easier topic for me to get, for the iconic Drew to get fired up about. But nonetheless, we are going to do this rant here. This has to do with the college rule changes. We've been talking about the pro football changes, and we got a couple more of those to get into later on in the show, in the next segment, as a matter of fact. But there's a rule change in college football, too, that's kind of got iconic a little fired up. So we're going to talk about that. This is where fair catches anywhere within the 25-yard line results in a touchback, and football being placed at the 25-yard line. All right, before I get started here, hold on. Okay, so the hat was holding me back. I was feeling a little hot. Anyway, so go Derby. But this is a stupid rule, and let me tell you why this is a stupid rule, everybody. Here's why. First of all, the fact that all you got to do is catch the ball inside the 25-yard line. So that means even if you catch it at the inch line, the 1-inch line, it's still a touchback. It's still coming out to the 25-yard line, which is stupid too. I've always thought it was dumb that they moved it from the 20 to the 25. That was so that teams would down the ball in the end zone instead of trying to bring it out. And the reason I think this is stupid, well, first of all, I'm watching games on Saturday. I pretty much did nothing but watch college football on Saturday. And there were a lot of instances where teams would just catch the ball at the 10-yard line. Next thing you know, they get it 15 yards up the field. The other reason I think this is stupid is because it stops collisions. I love watching people they'd be catching the ball at the 5 or 10-yard line, just get smoked, get absolutely crushed. And not only that, if you down the ball at the 5 or 10-yard line, that's where you should have it. Instead of, let's just give them 15 yards because we feel like it. This is dumb. And I'm listening to announcers going, this is a great rule. This is going to save player safety. People aren't going to get hurt anymore by these people who can run 40 yards and make a tackle. If you don't want to be tackled by somebody that's running 40 yards, get out of his way. Or better yet, have somebody block him. It's freaking ridiculous. The best play I saw on Saturday night was Meat Chicken. I got to give this kid, I don't remember his name, this kid from Meat Chicken, I got to give him credit. Because Notre Dame was up in this game, 21-10 at the time. And Meat Chicken player decided at the 1-yard line that he was going to catch the ball and run. Oh, like the old-fashioned days, like last year, when you could actually catch the ball and return it. Well, he returns it 99 yards for a touchdown. Why? Because the Notre Dame defenders stopped playing because they all thought he was going to make a fair catch and take the ball at the 25-yard line like everybody else is doing. No, this kid, I'll give him credit. I know he plays for Meat Chicken, but you know what? That is awesome. This kid did this. And then on the next possession, Notre Dame got the ball. This kid got the ball at the 5-yard line. He thought, well, I'm going to be trying to be like this player for Meat Chicken. I'm going to try to return it. He got about 5 yards. He got smoked. Maybe he should have taken the fair catch rule. But I'm opposed to the fair catch rule, and those are the reasons why. And I'm bringing Diamondback back into the conversation now.
Well, I'm going to agree with you on something.
Oh, my goodness. Write it down.
You're going to write this down?
Mm-hmm.
That is a great guitar riff off that song.
Oh, okay. I don't get credit for anything else, but I'll take that.
No, I love that I did not see that play. I'm actually trying to look it up right now so that I can see it. But I'm glad to see that somebody took advantage of it to show them how ridiculous this is of a rule. I mean, boom. Okay, they're going to think that I'm going to fair catch it. No, I'm just not going to throw. You know, I'll bring my hand up partly and then put it right back down. That way they think, boom. All of a sudden they relax and you got an opening 99 yards as you well put it.
Yeah.
You know.
I would be surprised if more teams
Now-
tried that this year because of this
More
rule.
more teams will try that because Michigan showed how it's can exploit this rule.
Meat chicken.
You know, you can go ahead. I don't have a hatred for them as bad as you. I just have a hatred for their fans. Because it's maize. It's not yellow, it's maize. Well, anyways,
They're right about that.
that's fine. I'm sorry, it's a thing of yellow. Anyways,
We
so
got 12 minutes on this.
no, I don't think this is a good rule because
Todd's back.
as you pointed out, it can be exploited. I don't have a problem with them sitting there going, oh, if you're going to
Todd.
catch it in the end zone, you know, it's an automatic touchback. You can't run it out. I wouldn't have a problem with that type of rule change as far as that goes. But you're telling me, oh, I can do a fair catch out here at the 2-yard line? You can't touch me. No. Hit it!
Right, exactly. I mean, if you're stupid enough to catch the ball, by the way, Todd's online now. Hi, Todd. We just
Todd.
played your commercial a moment ago.
Todd Barber.
What's up, Todd the Barber? So we'll play it again, I'm
Killer
sure.
does not mind this rule. Well, he's Canadian, that's why he doesn't mind this rule.
Plus, he's not a college football fan.
He's not about
How much can Killer even comment on this? Sorry,
Yes.
Killer. I'll call you out. Call us. Hashtag Save the Crew phone line 614-781-0754.
That's 614-751-0754.
Right. So I'm going to announce it one more time since I'm looking at it right now. The first annual WTMH Radio Music Awards Show, Saturday, November 10th at the Kings Art Complex, 867 Mount Vernon Avenue here in Columbus, Ohio. Red carpet at 6 p.m., showtime at 7:30. All kinds of awards being handed out that night. DiAmOnDbAcK's going to get the best male
Model.
model. I'm going to get the best white rapper.
Oh.
And so that'd be interesting.
Okay.
So,
All right,
yeah.
Vanilla Ice. Let's go for it.
Vanilla Ice, there we go. I love Vanilla Ice. But no, the reason I have to mention that one more time, red carpet at 6, showtime at 7:30. We want to mention it one more time tonight. Now that my screen's clear, I can actually see the promo here right in front of me, so that's a good thing. But, and I'm going to wear my one of my ties that night. I've got a nice tie that I'm going to sport that evening, and can't wait to show that off to everybody.
Support the Cleveland Browns. So.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right. Because I'm a big Brown. Right. Anyway, so hashtag Save the Crew phone line 614-781-0754. We've talked about NFL rule changes. We've made some college football picks. We made our NFL picks, and we're going to get into some more NFL rule changes here in just a little bit after this segment. But right now, we're talking about the iconic Drew rant and what I just ranted on there on this college football rule change. How do you guys feel about that? Give us a call. Let us know what you think. I think they're just, once again, they're taking hitting out of football. Football's a contact game. Look, I'm all about player safety. I get it. I'm all about that. Just like we were talking about the helmet rule earlier. This is why I'm not that big fan of the helmet rule, because I think they're going too far. This is what they do. It's a knee-jerk reaction. Everything's a knee-jerk reaction one way or the other in these leagues.
Yeah.
And that's all they're doing. And do I think that, I remember when I was watching the game as a kid. I was probably about 8, 9 years old. I was watching the game with my dad. My dad was a big Browns fan. And I ended up being a Steeler fan, but the Steelers were good in the 70s, and that's why I became a Steeler fan. But anyhow, in this play, I remember Turkey Jones picking up Terry Bradshaw and spiking him on his head. Terry got up after that play, stood right up, not a problem, got up and kept playing, which Bradshaw doesn't have much of a brain in his head anyway. We'll get to that in a minute, and I'm going to rant on him for a second too in this rant, because I just thought of something I wanted to say about him tonight. But it's not a big rant, so I don't want to make it a big rant next week. But anyway, Turkey Jones spiked him on his head. Terry got up, played the next play, didn't go out for concussion protocol. There was none then. Turkey Jones did not get a penalty for it. Oh, by the way, Bradshaw had thrown the ball. The ball was not in his hands. He had already thrown it.
So, hashtag Save the Cruise, phone line 614-771-0754.
Right, and thank you, DiAmOnDbAcK. So, he didn't get penalized for it, no 15-yard penalty. He didn't get fined that next week by the National Football League. Basically, they just kept playing. Now we've gone to completely the opposite side of this. It's still football, for crying out loud. Let them hit each other.
So, I'm going to go ahead and just say, you're right. It is a new reaction to this, the whole thing. But that's the way our society is built today. We overreact one way or the other about how something is said or how what something is done.
So, this doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't. It does not make it right.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, man, I think that, it's like I said earlier, what are we going to do next? Get out the flags? Play some flag football? Have grown men out there playing flag football for millions of dollars? It's probably not going to happen.
No.
So
they'll lose money real quick.
Right. But that's the direction we're heading. If things keep going the way they're going, it's the way we're heading.
We can go the Jetsons' way and go with robots' way.
Right. No, this is why I get so fired up about rule changes and this kind of stuff, because these guys, I understand, like I said, player protection, fine. I'm all for it. My son plays 8th grade football. Last thing I want to see is him hurt. Or anything like that. And he's been hurt a couple times already. Minor stuff.
Mine.
But
he just got his stitches removed.
You're right. He's coming back from getting cleated and having 17 stitches put in his ankle. So, and he's playing tomorrow night. But, like I said, I'm all for player protection and helping these guys get through all that kind of stuff and everything. But the fact is that we go too far. It's a contact game. This is not baseball. This is football. It's meant to be a contact game. And the guys who play it, the men who play it, know the risks.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If you don't, that's where I'm at on this. I know your son plays it. If you don't want your child to get hurt, don't let him play the game.
Right.
First off.
Let's hope his mom's not listening right now. Anyway, go ahead.
No. I'm not saying that's just the way. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see your son.
I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Right.
But the thing is, you're going out there. That's that chance that you're taking, letting your kid go out there and do that. Well, as they grow up and they start to, hey, I'm going to get a college scholarship. I'm going to go play for this college. Go play for that college. You're taking a chance. About that. We've talked about this in the past. Colleges need to step up. The player gets hurt on the field, whether it's a practice field or on a regular field. The colleges need to sit there and go, okay, you've got your scholarship, but it's off. You're off the team until you either get better, or if it even is, hopefully you get better. Same thing with pro. Player gets hurt. I don't care if it's his first game in the NFL or his last game in the NFL. If he gets hurt on the field, he needs to be taken care of the rest of his life. He's got his bills, his things. He needs to have a guaranteed pay. He just got hurt doing that. So I mean, that's the thing. If you want to protect them by saying, okay, look, you have a possibility, but we need you to sign a waiver that you're wanting to do this, but we're going to take care of you if you do get hurt.
Well, I do have an issue with college teams like taking away a scholarship when a kid gets hurt. I totally disagree with them doing that. But I do understand the NFL, it's a business. If you can't perform, you can't be paid. Right,
but if it's a legitimate, I've got to hang now,
Well, they're not baseball players.
You're right. You're absolutely right. If it's a legitimate hit, like the player you mentioned,
Ryan Shazier.
You're right. It's a legitimate. It's the doctor's backing it up.
Like I said before, Ryan was hurt because of his own actions.
Right. I mean, now that could come back and haunt him with what I'm saying, because they can sit there and go, well, you did this, you shouldn't have.
Right, but he definitely shouldn't have. He led with his head. He led with the crowd of his helmet.
Right.
And he shouldn't have.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword. So you got to put in protections for the team as well as for the players. But I think you've nailed it on the head with you know, the knee-jerk reaction, as you're putting it, the overreaction of the whole thing. Killer pointed out it's been 20 years since this has happened. You know.
Yeah.
You know, players get hurt. It's their job.
Right, and I mean, like I said, I don't like seeing anybody get hurt. I understand why they put rules into effect. You know, we talked about this helmet rule in the NFL. I'm still opposed to it because it's too gray to me, but maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe they'll administrate the rule the way they're supposed to, and everything will be just fine. I just don't want to see these hits where, you know, a guy grazes somebody with the side of his helmet and gets called for it. You know, that's accidental. It's not like I said, the Ryan Shazier hit, and I'm a Steeler fan, I'm a Buckeye fan, I love Ryan, but that was his fault. He launched himself, and he hit with the crown of his helmet. I don't want to see him get hurt, and I'm glad he's walking again. But he did that to himself. He caused that action to happen by launching and leading with the crown of his helmet. We should have no hits with the crown of the helmet. That should be taken away.
Yeah,
that needs to be out of the game because that's part of the helmet you can really hurt somebody with.
And the player from Michigan that exploited this rule, Ambry Thomas.
Well, there you go. Mr. Thomas, our hat's off to you. Literally, I threw my hat before I did that rant. Just need to concentrate a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a little hot. But nonetheless, my hat's off to you, meat chicken player. And congratulations on that because I'm watching that game going, oh, my goodness. He just exploited the rule that I have been watching all day, watching players just catch the ball at the 2-yard line and put their hands up and go, I give up, I surrender. Give me 23 yards, move the ball to 25. The heck, I did not know about this rule change before Saturday.
Yeah,
I think that's what irritated me the most is I didn't even know about it.
I think it was the Michigan Notre Dame game where I seen the first one happen.
Yeah.
Or no, it was the Washington Auburn game.
Yeah.
Where I seen the first one happen. I'm like, well, no, they must have punted. I must have missed something. You know?
Yeah.
And
I missed something, didn't I? Did I just see what I thought I saw?
Right. And I'm like going, yeah, no, it had to be a punt. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. And they're talking about the rule change, and I'm like going, huh? And then it happened in the Alabama game, and I'm like going, oh, bullshit.
Yeah, what is this? What is this new rule change here?
Well,
yeah.
I scared. I don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
Then go home.
Right. I'm a football player. I'm on the football field. I might get hurt or hit. You know, hey, look, it's football. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a contact sport.
Right.
So, you know, and that's the bottom line. They hit hard. It's like Spencer when he was about 7 or 8 years old. He was too big to play with kids his own age, so he played against kids that were 3 years older than him. He got about halfway through the first practice. He came up sitting down next to me, and he goes, Daddy, they hit hard. And I said, well, hit back. Hit back. And he goes, okay. And he went out there and hit back. By the end of the year, they were doing that Oklahoma drill, you know, where they line up and they go at each other one-on-one with a circle around them. Spencer was taking on kids 3 years older than him and winning.
Nice.
I mean,
nice.
And these kids were in Deanna's class. So they had to go back to school the next day and hear from Deanna how her little brother whipped their butt. It was great.
Nice.
So, yeah. But, you know, and playing against kids older than you, that's good practice as far as that's concerned, too. Here's my Terry Bradshaw rant for a moment because we got some time to kill during this iconic Drew rant time period here. First of all, hats off to Terry Bradshaw. I mean, he won 4 Super Bowls for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, my favorite team. And one of the reasons I'm a Steeler fan is because of those teams winning those Super Bowls in the 70s. This is when I became a football fan, was in the 70s.
Right.
So maybe in the 80s I'd have been a 49ers fan or a Cowboys fan. Who knows? Later on, Patriots.
Thank God.
So, anyway, but they were the dominant team in the 1970s. Won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years, which still no one's matched that. So, anyway, and Terry Bradshaw was, of course, their quarterback. Hall of Fame quarterback, great guy, great quarterback. But when it comes to speaking about Mike Tomlin, he needs to shut up. Just shut up. Shut the front door, Terry. I'll call you out right now. Here on the Ferocious Money Productions of the iconic Drew at DiAmOnDbAcK Sports Opinion Show. Killer, do it. Hashtag Terry Bradshaw. Thank you. So, Terry's come out and said, Mike Tomlin's not my kind of coach. I don't think he's that great a coach. I don't think he does a good job. He's too raw. He's too much a player's coach, all this kind of stuff. Well, you know what, Terry? It's not the 1970s anymore. Coaches need to connect with their players nowadays. You can't just sit back and say, well, I'm going to just I'm the coach and they're going to do what I said. Terry, I remember you getting in arguments with Chuck Knoll. I don't think you liked him either. Maybe you just don't like authority. Maybe that's your problem. You have a problem with authority. You know what? You're a great quarterback. And you're a pretty good analyst, too, on Sunday mornings. I enjoy watching you because you're funny. And you're a Pittsburgh Steeler. But you need to be a Pittsburgh Steeler and be part of the family instead of causing dissension and getting upset with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. And you don't need to be on his butt about stuff like that. Instead, you need to support him. Just because you don't like the man, and just because he's not your kind of coach, shut your mouth. I know it's your job to give your opinion, just like it's our job to give our opinions. But the fact is, Mike Tomlin's doing a great job with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're a competitive team every year. They're a playoff team almost every year. And in today's NFL with player movement, that's the best you can ask for. They're not going to win the Super Bowl every year. Hopefully they can get back. Hopefully Mike Tomlin gets them back there and wins a game Super Bowl for them. 3 coaches in my lifetime for the Pittsburgh Steelers. No other team can match that.
No.
So, Terry, just watch what you say. Be a little more supportive of your current coach. I mean, come on, you're a Pittsburgh Steeler after all.
I think Pennsylvania can Penn State can match that. I think they've had 3 in their lifetime as well.
I think that's right. But I'm not a Penn State fan. So, there you go. But, yeah, I mean, I saw Terry said that last year, too, about playoff time, about Mike Tomlin, and he just came out and said that again, and I'm just sitting there going, Terry, just, my goodness, I know it's your job. It's his job to give his opinion.
It's his job to give his opinion, and he's done that. However, you're no longer part of that team. I mean, you're part of its history.
Yes.
You're no longer part of its team. And
he's not there daily basis. He doesn't know what Coach Tomlin is.
Yeah. Okay, so he's presenting himself as a player's coach. As you said, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way he wants to coach.
Right.
But, who knows? He might get those players in the locker room and rip them from one side down to the other.
Right, and he's the exact opposite of Chuck Noll. I admit that. He's the exact opposite of Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's a coach's coach. He coaches his coaches.
Right.
And lets them do the work.
And then
that's okay. It works too.
And he calls the plays and says, "This is what I want to go on out
right.
there." And how you do it is up to you.
And on to Atlanta. On to Atlanta. Next question, on to Atlanta. That's pretty much all he ever says in his interviews. So, but, you got to hand it to coaches like that. They're winners, no doubt about it. I mean, where does Bradshaw think he's not being that Tomlin's not a winner? I don't quite get that.
He's winning games. He's doing, he's winning the division. Maybe not every year, but I don't think he won the division every year that he was a quarterback. So that's just asking for too much.
Right, and that was
because at that point it goes back to my thing where if your team is that great, then why are we playing again?
That was before free agency too. The Steelers won those 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. Not to take anything away from what that team accomplished in the 1970s, but it was a different game.
It was a different game.
They did not have free agency at that time. So that's why, even as a person who doesn't like the Patriots, I got to give them mad respect, because think about this. They've made these Super Bowl runs and been this good during the free agency era, which you have to give a lot of credit to, whether you like the team or not.
Yeah, so...
Well, okay, folks, so what we're going to do now is we are going to play a couple commercials here, maybe a few surprises, who knows. You never know what the Iconic Drew and Diamondback are going to do, especially the Iconic Drew. Once again, that phone line, though.
614-781-0754, that's the
hashtag Save the Crew phone line. I'm a professional. Anyway, so hashtag Save the Crew phone line, 614-781-0754. When we come back, we're going to talk about more of the NFL rule changes. We've got a couple more of them to get into, and maybe touch back on the NFL helmet rule, since I'm still not very happy about that one. But you never know with me. I might bring it back up. I might not. We might need to kill some time, so that's always a possibility. So we're going to play a couple commercials here and see where things go. We've done all our bumpers tonight for all our sports. And so, here we go. Time for some commercials.
So you tired of the same old yourselves?
My personal favorite, as
No, he
always.
didn't even raise his hand, dude. He just caught Notre Dame sleeping. I watched.
Oh, yeah.
I just watched it.
I'm sitting there going,
And he didn't like run up the sideline. He ran down the middle.
yeah, which just they weren't ready to tackle. They were not ready to tackle.
What are you doing? You're supposed to fair catch.
You're supposed to just fair catch the ball. Come on, we'll give you an extra 20 yards. It's insane. Yeah, we are still talking about that. Notre Dame. What'd you say that Meat Chicken's player's name was?
It was Andre Thomas and Ambre Thomas.
Ambre Thomas. Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, what a great play. I was completely blown away by that. You know, just because, like I said all day long, I'm watching people just go to sleep. And
I sit here and just watched it, and I just cannot believe he just ran right up the middle of the field. Didn't run up the sideline. Didn't like cut to the sideline. No, he ran the whole middle of the field.
right.
Pretty much from about the 20-yard line to the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah. And it may have been like the 10, 15-yard line. It was amazing.
I mean, he cut over early. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's at least 90 to 80 yards just down the middle.
Right. And Notre Dame was not ready to tackle him at all because all of them quit on the play. That's why this rule sucks, because this is what's going to happen. Teams are not going to be ready to tackle. Or, worse, someone's going to make a fair catch and the guy's going to get hit anyway. And that's another 15 yards on top of being at the 25. If my math serves me right, that's the 40-yard line.
Yeah, no, no.
You getting shaggy, Jim?
I'm getting
I mean, Diamondback? We
I'm
getting
shaggy.
we getting shaggy? We both need to go see Todd.
See Todd.
We do.
Todd.
Because Todd is a family man. I'm in a goofy mood now. Look out. New girl. Oh. Oh, we're in good shape on time now. Okay. He is very personal. He will. Almost Ohio. Todd is a family man. That's right, everybody. If you are in the Columbus, Ohio area and needed a haircut at an old-fashioned barbershop, go see Todd at Todd's Barbershop. Not only is he a great guy, he'll give you a great haircut, he'll take care of you, won't he, Diamondback?
Oh yeah, he'll take care of you, and you'll get entertained.
Yes.
Old-fashioned, and he means old-fashioned. We're talking, might as well name it Floyd's.
Right. And there's some of you won't get that reference. That's okay. Maybe you should just YouTube that after this show. Check that out. What we're talking about there. I believe that was the Andy Griffith show. Andy Griffith show. Yeah. Hashtag Save the Crew. Phone line 614-781-0754. This is the Ferocious Bunny Productions of the Iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show. And also, we are on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on WTMHradio.com, which is sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. And coming up, the WTMH Media Group presents the first annual WTMH Radio Music Awards Show. That's going to be on Saturday, November the 10th at the King's Arts Complex here in Columbus, Ohio, over there on Mount Vernon Avenue. The red carpet starts at 6 p.m. The show time is 7:30. And all kinds of things going on with that. There's all kinds of different categories. We're hoping for something in sports because we're the only sports show. We could win something. George, there needs to be a sports category here because, you know, the Iconic Drew likes to win.
I nominate us.
Yeah, I'm going to nominate us too. I'm going to go on and nominate us later. And I think we can get Carrie and Laura to do it. Then Killer and Todd and Cass.
Yeah.
There's what, 7 votes if my math is right.
Yeah.
So that might be enough to win. 7-0.
You're lucky. You're lucky that that's all there is that we can count on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because you did that total.
Right. Yeah, the math. You mean? Yeah, the math. Right. Because if I got past 7, I'm not Spencer. Let's just say that. My math skills are nowhere near as good as my son's. Spencer's math skills are outstandingly out of this world. Although he showed off his geography skills on Monday by testing his sister, and she's an honor student, and he was asking her geography questions. She was a little lost. It was great. So it was fun to watch them do that. But nonetheless, yeah. So that's going to be there on Saturday, November the 10th, and I might have to check my see if the Buckeyes and Irish are playing that weekend. So nonetheless, no, I'm George. I'm just kidding. The Iconic Drew will be in attendance at the first annual WTMH Radio and Music Awards show. Not sure if Diamondback's going to make it, but that's okay. He's got some stuff going on.
I'm going to try to make it. I'm going to try to read.
He's the man. So we're back to the NFL rule changes now that we've kind of crushed what the college football rule changes are. That major one there. I didn't really get into any minor ones with college football. I think that was the biggest.
That's the biggest mistake.
But now we got to switch back to the National Football League. We got 2 more rule changes to look at. First, speaking of kickoffs, they have a kickoff rule change as well. Because
they fair catch it that goes out to the 40?
Exactly. Wow. Diamondback threw a little shade. I like it. So, yeah. No, not quite that bad. The kickoff team, this is a little confusing, okay? So, try to hang with me on this one, Diamondback. This rule is a little confusing, but it is the NFL. So it's what you got to expect, right? First game in less than 24 hours from now. We'll be watching your Falcons beat the Eagles.
I hope you're right.
At that time.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I hope you're wrong too, because I need to pick. Anyway,
Oh.
so, okay, let me start over on this. The kickoff team must have 5 players on each side of the ball and cannot line up more than 1 yard from the restraining line. No wedge blocks are permitted. Until the ball is touched or hits the ground, no player on either team may block within the 15-yard area from the kicking team's restraining line.
Wait, say that last part again.
Until the ball is touched or hits the ground, no player on either team may block within the 15-yard area from the team's restraining line. The ball is dead. Diamondback is losing it. The ball is dead if it is not touched by the receiving team and touches the ground in the end zone. So, what do we think about this rule, Diamondback?
The ball is dead.
The ball is dead.
If the other team doesn't.
The ball is dead. Now, see this last rule change here, right? Part of kickoff rules. The ball is dead if it is not touched by the receiving team and it touches the ground in the end zone. I don't have a problem with this part of this rule.
Okay,
Because if the ball basically the ball goes in the end zone and nobody touches it, play's over.
All right, so we got 5 players on each side of the kick.
Yeah.
What happened to onside kick?
I think you can still onside kick.
But you have to have 5 players on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. It's going to be a little harder to onside kick now. You can still do it. There's no rule against onside kicking.
Because they usually go with like 9 on one side, 1 on the other, other
For
side.
the onside kick, yeah.
Onside kick.
It kind of gives away which side the ball's going to. Maybe this will help that.
That might.
Because now you could go either way. Just playing devil's advocate here.
Wow.
Because you've got 5 on both sides, you got just as much chance of recovering whichever way the kicker kicks it.
But it's got to go 15 yards,
It-
according to this rule. If I heard you right.
So, The ball, until the ball is touched or hits the ground, no player on either team can block.
Block. Okay. Block. All right.
Yeah.
So why don't we just go ahead and allow the receiving team to have as many players as they want out there, and when the ball passes them, they have to give up pursuit and no longer can block.
Wow, that's as confusing as this rule is.
That's why I'm
Diamondback.
saying. That's exactly what
So
I'm saying.
what you're saying is this is a confusing rule. You don't like it.
I do not like this rule. I mean, it's going to probably take me a little while to get used to this rule.
Yeah. It's going to be some changes. I don't necessarily hate this as much as the college rule.
I can't say I don't. I like.
I don't
it.
even know where.
I
I don't
can't
even
say
know where's player protection falling into this. Because that's why they do everything they do.
Right.
It's for player protection. So where does player protection happen with this rule?
The only thing I can think of for that is you don't have as many players on one side of the ball because the receiving team is also trying to figure out, where the ball is going at this point. So you don't have a big cluster of guys crashing into each other.
Right.
We don't have a 40-car pileup on 270 here.
So we have a 10-car pileup
Right.
instead of a 40-car pileup. So, and I mean, this whole you can't block for, how's this rule worded again? Until the ball is touched or hits the ground, no player on either team may block within the 15-yard area from the kicking team's restraining line. Now, the restraining line, I'm guessing, is the kickoff line, or where you kick off from. That makes sense.
That's what I was.
That's what I was figured. That's what I was picturing when I wrote this down. And I just think that.
Did it help you understand the rule writing it down?
Maybe a little. But again, I mean, if the NFL is all about player protection, then how is this causing player protection? Just because you can't block.
All I can think of is that you don't have a big, massive bunch of guys in one area, and they're spread out, and you're not blocking. I don't get that. That part I don't get, because if you're trying to keep somebody from going around you, isn't that the key? I don't want him to get to the guy with the ball.
Right. So you can't start blocking until the ball is touched?
Until the ball is touched or it goes 15 yards.
See, this is the part of the rule that I don't like.
It makes no sense.
Okay, so wait till you hear this rule. If you thought that was bad, wait till you hear this rule.
If I was a kicker, I'd kick it straight up in the air.
Kick it straight up in the air.
It hasn't went. Nobody can do anything.
Right.
Jump ball.
What's the ball? Wow. So we're instituting NBA rules into the NFL.
Exactly.
So this is the catch rule. The catch rule now.
Catch rule?
Yep. Completing a catch. We've debated what a catch means the last couple of years. Completing a catch. The player must have control of the ball, get 2 feet or another body part down, make a football move, such as a third step, reaching or extending for the line to gain, or having the ability to perform such an act. So what this means is, this rule right here means that if that same play happens this year between the Steelers and Patriots, it'll be a touchdown for the Steelers when Jesse James, the tight end, extends into the end zone. Should have been a touchdown in the first place, because it was a catch. He did make a move. He made a football move with the ball in his hands, and they still took the catch away from him. So based on this year's rule, that should be a catch.
So they have to get 2 feet down
Yeah.
and make a football move.
Says get 2 feet down or another body part down, make a football move, such as a third step. Now,
Okay, so or
I don't know, it's an either or thing, yes. So as far as, like, let's say Antonio Brown's doing his famous 2-step dance along the sidelines.
okay.
That's still catch.
All right. No, that's okay. Now this rule makes complete sense. It sounds like they based this rule off of the Steelers and
Patriots game, yeah.
It really does.
The Steelers got hosed.
Wow. How do you really feel?
We got hosed.
Wow.
I mean, that was a catch. Jesse James has control of the ball, extends into the end zone, and they take the catch away from him. That was ridiculous. Anyway, and that would have been home field advantage for the Steelers for the playoffs, too. That's how big a play that was. So it wasn't like this was something little. This was a huge play. Anyway, then we have, this is fun. This rule's fun. We have the illegal batting and kicking the ball rule. Illegal batting and kicking the ball rule.
And here comes Major League Baseball.
Right. Illegal batting and kicking the batting and kicking the ball. Once again, folks, right, hashtag Save the Crew phone line 614-781-0754. We've had one caller tonight, my bro. So anybody else wants to call in and tell us what they think about these rules? That'd be interesting. So anyway, illegal batting. This is where any player bats or punches a loose ball in the field of play toward his opponent's goal line. Any player bats or punches a loose ball that has touched the ground in any direction, if it's in either end zone, or where an offensive player bats a backward pass in flight toward the opponent's goal line. So there we have the illegal batting and
batting. So basically, we got a loose ball on the ground.
Yeah, you can't bat it.
You can't hit it towards the other team's end zone.
Right.
Okay, I don't really have much of a problem with this other than what's this got to do with safety? Oh my God, the quarterback's going to run over there and trip over the ball now. Anyways, it has nothing to do with that. But this is kind of odd, you know. I'm sorry, I can't get to the ball, but I can at least touch it and bat it towards my teammate. There's two teammates two opponent team members over there to my left. My teammates to my right. I'm going to try to bat it towards him. What's wrong with that? You still can at least try to get it in the hands of your player.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's just that they don't want players just pushing the ball forward just to gain yardage, that type of thing. And that's kind of where this rule comes from. There's been fumbling plays where people have tried to move the ball ahead by doing that, by doing certain things like that.
How often does that happen? Because how many times coaches rip into players because you touch the ball, you better have a hold of it.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's the thing. Coaches are ripping into them for that crap. I don't care if it did get me an extra 5 yards. We got lucky. You know.
Right.
That's the way I would be as a coach. You know, no. Get the ball. You hold on to the ball. You bring me the ball.
Right.
You know, that's the way I would be as a coach. You bring me the ball. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
I'll take mine from.
So those are our NFL rule changes. Once again, we are at hashtag Save the Crew phone line 614-781-0754. That is the hashtag Save the Crew phone line 614-781-0754. We're going to play a commercial now. When we come back, we will wrap all this up. This madness that was tonight, we'll wrap it all up and maybe tease next week, although we really haven't talked about next week yet. But that's okay. You never know what kind of Drew's going to drop on us here. So here we go.
Wow. Those are some interesting rules.
It's the NFL for you. It's what they do. I don't know. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Ferocious Bunny Productions of the iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show. Hope you've all enjoyed it tonight. We tried our best to entertain you for 3 hours. Thanks everybody who's chimed in and along the different media outlets that we're using here with Facebook, YouTube, and WTMHradio.com, which is of course sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. They got an event coming up too. WTMH Media Group presents the first annual WTMH Radio Music Awards Show on Saturday, November 10th. It's going to be at the King's Arts Complex here on Mount Vernon Avenue here in Columbus, Ohio. Red carpet's at 6 p.m. Showtime is 7:30 p.m. Should be an interesting night. The Iconic Drew will be in attendance with a tie on. Don't see Iconic Drew in a tie very often. In fact, I usually only wear a tie to church. Those of you out there who I go to church with know that to be a fact. I'll show up in a jersey on Sunday morning. Guarantee I'll be wearing a Steeler jersey this Sunday morning. So instead of wearing a tie, because I just don't wear ties very often. And I have to wear a polo to work, so I don't even like to wear a polo 6 days a week. Anyway, so it has been an entertaining show. We've talked about some NFL rule changes. We've talked about the NFL picks. We both made our picks for the night, along with Big Cass and Killer chiming in on their picks. And once again, Diamondback proving he's not a homer by picking against his Falcons that play tomorrow night against the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles.
I won't be doing that too much. So. But this one here, I really believe the Eagles will win.
And I think you're wrong. I think the Falcons will soar. I think the Falcons will soar in this game. It'll be close. I think it should be a good game. It should be a very entertaining game. So I'm not sure what happened to the NFL doing away with the previous Super Bowl matchup being the one on Thursday nights to start the year.
Well,
it would have been the Patriots.
It would have been the Eagles and the Patriots, but maybe they don't match up this year.
Yeah, but you still have those one or two extra games every year that fill out the schedule.
No. If the Eagles and the Patriots don't match up, because it's they're in different conferences.
Yeah,
that's the that might be the problem.
It could be, but I mean, yeah, you still have that every year to fill out the schedule of 16 games, where you're playing two games. I believe it's 2 extra games that the matchups aren't set by NFC East versus AFC West, for example.
Right.
And then you play 8 teams in your own division.
This would have to be AFC.
Or excuse me, yeah.
East
You play
against the AFC.
You play
NFC.
6 games in your own division, so that's 6 plus the 4 that you're playing in the other division. That's only 10 games. There are 16 games on the schedule. So they do fill in extra games as far as matchups are concerned.
Yeah, but it's like
it's number 1 versus number 1,
number
which
one
they
versus
could
number
have.
1 in your conference. So you play one game. Like here, the Falcons match up against the NFC East, and the NFC East goes against the NFC South.
Right.
And then they play a NFC West team. They play an NFC North team, and that takes care of the NFC. Then all that leaves is 4 games.
Right.
That they play against an AFC division. They don't play an AFC.
Now, I'm pretty sure there's 1 or 2 wild card games left where you play a team from the other division. Well, they did it before, Jim. They did it before. It must have worked out before. I mean, what are they doing different now?
As I said, it does not look like it. It looks like they match up against. They match up against the AFC South, because they got the Jaguars.
Right.
They've got the Titans, and of course the Colts and the whatever other team it is there. I can't figure it out. Texans.
So, yeah, I'm still saying I still think it should be the Super Bowl matchup from last year for the first game. I'm opposed to this they could get that wrinkle out of the, even if there isn't an extra game, and I still think there is, even if there's not an extra game left, you can still just take away one of the games you play against an NFC team or an AFC team
Right.
if you're the other team.
What do you, you heard about this going to, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. You heard about them bringing to the table the thought process of going to an 18-game season. Now, the Players Association is totally against this.
No,
So-
before you go too far with this, Diamondback,
Oh,
this was something I intended to bring up tonight.
oh, really?
So we're going to tease that. That's a nice little tease you just did.
All right.
And we're going to actually talk about that next week. We're going to
Talk about
debate that topic next week. Whether we should do away with some of the preseason games and go to a longer schedule, or what we should do with this.
Well, then I'm just going to mention, then I'm not going to, I'll ask you, and you don't have to give me your answer until next week. So they are going to go to an 18-game season.
That's one of the things on the table.
The Players Association does not want to see their players playing 18 games,
Uh-huh.
which would mean they expand their roster, and they're only allowed to play 16 games, which means they would have to sit their starting quarterback for 2 games, their starting running back for 2 games. Which 2 games do you set? Your starting quarterback now.
We're going to have to get more into that next week because I don't know why. I don't understand that this week. You're going to have to explain why they would need to sit people.
Because
So
they're only allowed to play 16
Like I
games.
said, Diamondback, don't go into it.
All right.
So, but that's a good tease because I do want to get into that topic because I meant to bring it up today. Jerry Jones had brought up some. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, had brought up some ideas
I think
as
that's
far
where
as
this idea came from.
as far as that's concerned. So I do want to get into that topic. So that's a good tease for next week. Obviously, we're going to have a rant. Killer Diamondback's going to continue his rants against college football, I believe.
I think I'm done.
Really?
Think
No. Tease, you got to tease Killer. Tell him you're not done. There's got to be one more conference you can do.
Oh, I can pick on the little.
You can pick on the Mac.
I can pick on that. Well, no, that's the Big Ten's job.
Oh. Just like it's the SEC's job to pick on the Southern Conference.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, it's true.
so, yeah, run up the score on those boys and pay them big money as they leave town. So, that's pretty much all that's about. But yeah, we will have more college football picks. We'll do the NFL picks. We'll do our rant. Killer Diamondback apparently done with his college rants. Going to move on to something else now. Maybe he can rant about how bad his Falcons looked against the Eagles.
That'd probably be a good rant.
Although
However,
that's
Killer gave me a good idea for a rant. So.
okay. Well, I'm kind of going to wait till after Sunday. If Pittsburgh loses, I've got a rant coming. If we lose to Cleveland, I've got a lot to say. So, I mean, they lost to the Bears last year, and I had the first rant I ever did last year was when the Steelers lost to the Bears, and I just went off. It was incredible. It was iconic. Big Cass said I earned my nickname that night.
Really?
Being iconic, yeah. So, but nonetheless, folks, I do hope you have enjoyed the entertainment tonight. We've tried to entertain you. Once again, this has been the Ferocious Money Productions of the iconic Drew and Diamondback Sports Opinion Show. Once again, the phone number, #Save the Crew phone line, 614-781-0754. We've been on Facebook. We've been on YouTube. We got those annual music awards coming up here with WTMH, sponsored by Unplugged Magazine. So we'll get that plug in there one more time as well. And I hope you all have a great evening, the rest of the way out. And this is Iconic Drew signing off along with
Diamondback, and as always, enjoy.
Go Bucks, Roll Tide.
Alright guys, I'm actually going to sign off here. Kelly, nice to see you. It's been a long time since I've seen you. I hope everything's well. Everybody, thank you for tuning in, thank you for support once again, and I love you all for it. So whether you tuned in for a few minutes or whether you tuned in for the whole show, Killer, thank you so much. You try to keep us on track. I really do appreciate that. I know a couple of our things got wrong, but we had to go along because of the amount of material we had. Anyways, no, I'm not going to. I don't think I'm going to rant about college football. I think I'm going to rant about something else. I think you brought up a really good thing for a rant, so I might go with that. I just gotta go there. And you're absolutely right. It does switch every year what conference they play out of what division they play out of the other conference. Anyways, thank you all. I do appreciate it. I'm going to sign off of here on Facebook. And I'm also going to sign off here on the stream. Iconic, say goodbye to the YouTube channel here.
Goodbye. Good night, everybody.
And we are out.